Yo, 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 this is DPS Podcast. That's Damage Per Second Podcast. We are back on a fine Thursday night, feeling extra all right. I am one of your hosts, SloMoBackSlap, with this other host here, Mr. Gaming Forte, who refuses to buy a marathon, who refuses to support Bungie in their endeavors.
Their endeavors.
I'm just messing around, but no, seriously, like, we're back, man. DPS, Damage Per Second Podcast, episode 264. We're gonna have a good show, man. Ain't that right, Forte?
Absolutely. Always do have a good show.
Yeah, absolutely. So what you been playing, man? Let's just get into it.
I'll just get into it. So been playing today Pokepia came out, so I've been playing that. I'm going into my Animal Crossing /
What is a Pokepia? What is that?
It's Pokopia. It's weird how they name it, but it's basically a cross of Pokemon, Animal Crossing.
And everything I don't like. I got you.
Animal Crossing and Dragon's Quest Builders. It's made by the same developers that did Dragon Quest Builders. But you play as a Ditto and it makes a human. It's actually pretty cool. It's like one of those cozy sim type games and stuff. But it's kind of this the thing that I always tell people. When you're around people that like certain things, it kind of permeates and makes you kind of be like, I want to be a part of this conversation. And especially when my whole store is talking about it, I was like, I really I loved Animal Crossing, but that was only because it was COVID and that game was like kind of one of those games that just kind of took your mind off things. And you could just sit there and just play it. And so I already knew I would like it, but it was like, I don't know if I want to, jump in. And then, everybody was talking about it. And it's, we can jump in and we can all do this and do that and jump into Discord and all play and talk to each other. And I was like, oh, okay, fine. I'll pick it up. It ain't no big deal. And yeah, man, it's actually pretty cool. It was actually pretty addictive too. So I've been playing that for it just came out today. So I've been playing that for the last hour and a half, 2 hours since I've been home from work. Outside of that, a little bit of Battlefield 6, played some of that. I haven't really played a lot of Battlefield 6. I think it's because I'm just kind of fatigued on just the game in general with the leveling and stuff. And I'm like, I really don't want to play, team deathmatch and stuff because it's like the maps it's like smaller sections of certain maps, but it's like you don't get a chance to see like everything. And I feel like, even knowing that's kind of a thing that they're giving you as like a substitute to play, it's not what makes Battlefield to me. So I'm kind of not falling off of it. But, when I'm in this grinding to try to unlock weapons and get tier upgrades and stuff, it's like that's kind of what you have to do. So I played a little bit of that over the course of, I played this morning for a little bit. And then I played a little bit this week, not that much like over my 2 days off, but I played probably like a good 4 or 5 hours of it. I beat Silk Song on Switch 2.
Oh, okay.
That's freaking incredible, bro. That game is wow. It's so hard. It's so freaking hard, bro. That game is so hard, bro. But I really enjoyed it. Definitely like the things that they added in order to upgrade just the overall abilities in the game. The story is really compelling. The mechanics are like top notch in that game. Like, Team Cherry, definitely knocked it out the park with the first one. And I think they one up themselves with this one. So I'm just looking forward to seeing like whatever DLC or anything that's going to release with it later on that they're going to announce or anything like that. But that's kind of been my gauntlet. And a little bit of Resident Evil. Played that. Like I said, I was telling you before the show, played about 2 hours of it since it's been out, but I've watched probably like 7 hours of it because I really bought it from my daughter because I'm not really into Resident Evil. But because I haven't really been into it since like Resident Evil 5. Like when they started doing the whole like action game when they went to Resident Evil 6, that's kind of when I fell off and I just never really went back. Not until
they kind of pulled back off of that though. Like
they pulled off
Resident
of it.
Evil 6 is kind of like it's in a place in its own. You know, it's
Right,
like pure
yeah.
action game, whereas the other ones are survival horror, more survival horror than that. Even though this one seems to be a good mix with Requiem.
Right.
I'm not even like a Resident Evil dude, as you know, but like the FOMO been getting to me, man. I've been trying
Uh-oh.
my best to not like indulge because I just like I don't. Yeah, look, I don't mind watching somebody play a
Mm-hmm.
game like that.
Right.
Playing it myself is I can't see it, but then I kind of want to play it.
You want to jump in there, don't you? I know. I
Yeah,
know.
just a little
And
bit, just a little bit.
plus you want to know why this game's selling out everywhere. And it's like, dude, that game, let me tell you,
Oh, I
bro.
can tell. I've already watched a few people's like start it, like the beginning part, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Like that, like
Bro.
that. They really nailed the execution of both play styles with Grace and Leon.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. It's just the fact that so many people like been looking for this game for the course of this whole entire week. Like it came out last Friday, and literally, like I like because we haven't talked about it. So it released on Friday. I was sold out of all my extra copies by 12:30. Now my store opens at 10. So 2.5 hours later, I was out. Nothing but pre-orders left. And I spent the next 48 hours telling people exactly this. Oh, do you have either if they walked in the store, oh man, do you got Resident Evil? No, unfortunately I sold out. I only got my pre-orders left. I can't see if they said, well, what about any other stores? Well, I can't see other stores for the first 24 hours because they just don't allow us to see them. But I said the only thing you could do is call around. I said, but for the most part, I think everybody's out. And then people were calling the phone. Hey, you got Resident Evil? Said no, sold out. Unfortunately, been out since 12:30. Oh, why you guys sell out so fast? I was like, well, because it's all based on pre-order numbers. They only send us so many extras. If people don't pre-order, they're only going to send us, X amount of copies. And they was like, man, that sucks. I said, yeah, that's what. You know how many times I bit my tongue saying, well, that's what happens when you don't freaking pre-order, bro. Like, I'm not even telling people they need to go out and pre-order, games and stuff like that. But if it's something that it's like you're kind of on the fence about, and it's something you think you want to get, especially now because people don't realize digital is real. Like the fact that Sony put out those numbers saying 75% of most of their player base is digital. So what do you think that means to all these other corporations that are selling physical games? Like, it's a reason that Target and Best Buy, well, not Target, but like Walmart and Best Buy and stuff like that really don't sell brand new games in their store anymore. Because of the simple fact that it's like not worth the investment, or I won't say the investment. It's not worth the wall space to them anymore because you have to allocate space to that. So when people wonder like why stores don't have certain things, it's because they just don't order a lot of it anymore. Usually they order to what they pre-order, and they may order like a multiplier of like 0.1 or 0.2 per pre-order or something like that. Is kind of how it works. And if you pre-order 10, it's a good chance that you might get an extra 4. So you'll get 14 copies to sell total, and 4 of them are for people that walk into the store. You pre-order 100, you might get 140 or 150 copies. It's all tied to like, because then they look at like what the trend in the store looks like. It's like, oh, there's a lot of people interested in the game in that area, so we'll send them extra copies and stuff. I don't know exactly if that's how it's worked, but that just kind of how it seems. Because even with Pokemon today, we didn't get that many extra copies. Like I think we had like close to 30 pre-orders or something. And I think we only had like 15 or 16 extra copies of the game to sell to people. And when I left at 6:00, we were out of pre-order, like out of extra copies of the game. So once again, for the rest of this weekend, I'm telling everybody like we're out of it, or I can order it for them online. So just to let people know, if it's a game, and I'm not saying from GameStop, it could be from Amazon, it could be from wherever you want to pre-order at. if it's a game that you think you're interested in, just pre-order it and have them ship it to you. Guess what? You can always send it back if you don't open it. And if it's a game that you pre-order in the store, you can always cancel your pre-order and get your money back if you end up not wanting it. But guess what you can't do? You can't walk in the store and get something that's not there. And that's what happened with Resident Evil. And it happened with, think about it, happened with what's the name of it? Claire Obscure. 33. It happened with 33. It happened with Elden Ring. All of these big games that people jump on the hype train for and wonder, like, why can't I find it anywhere? Why can't I find it in store? It's because they don't order a lot of them. And, you know, it's mostly due to the fact that people buy digital for the most part. So that's kind of it. But the fact that that game has blew up as much as, I think when I saw, like when it came out, I think the reviews said it was like around an 88 Metacritic at that time. I haven't looked at them recently to see if it went up or went down any, but I definitely
think it started out as an 89 and went slightly down to an 88.
To an 88. So
it's probably going to stay there considering the number of reviews that are out now.
The outlets are out.
Yeah,
but yeah, I can't wait to get back into more of it and play a little more of it for myself. But yeah, man, you should definitely go ahead and get in on the FOMO and jump in and play it, because I would love to watch you stream that game. I would love it.
I thought about it. Maybe, you know, actually, and shout out to Clizzle of 420. I streamed, but you know, I might as well just start talking about it. So like what I've been playing. I've really only, outside of like the same games I always play, I've really only played two things that were kind of newish. One is what you're seeing on the screen on the Jumbotron right now, Armistice, the demo for Armistice, which is a roguelike. It's a roguelike shooter. It's pretty good. You know, if you want to check it out, you think what you've seen on the screen is pretty interesting. You know, the demo's free. Go ahead and give it a go. I've been playing that because I've only completed one run. And I haven't played it like too much, but I've probably only done maybe about 3 or 4 runs now. And this footage, I decided to show this footage because something is about to happen that is like they did an update, and I didn't have any issues before the update. But after the update, started to get these crashes.
Yeah, the crashes.
So, I don't know what they did. They need to undo that, because I was having a nice little run, and I found like that there's this little, I guess not, well, I would say side gameplay to it where there's like a ghost or something, or a spirit that you can befriend, and you're supposed to be escorting the spirit to its final resting place. But in roguelites, you'll sometimes, let's say like in Returnal, you'll have a curse or an affliction of some kind. And while you're escorting the spirit in Armistice, you're getting these like, they're banes, and so they're kind of like, it may be the enemies will move faster, or you can't heal or something like that, you know. But you'll end up getting a reward once you've completed escorting that spirit through the various biomes and whatnot. And so it's pretty fun. It can get pretty chaotic. It's pretty good. So I've been playing that, and I've also been playing The Division.
Yeah, I missed the stream, but I saw you doing realism role, and I watched like probably the first 40 minutes of the 2-hour stream. It was like, yo, you can, and then you were talking about like, man, I got a one-shot sniper build on this game, and I could just put people down without it now. This is crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and it's kind of funny because I was I was just kind of capping some of these dudes with headshots. It was pretty fun. I'm playing through it more
too. I forgot how good that game looks.
Well, they actually looks even better because they did a update. They did a update to the Snowdrop engine, and update to just like overall textures to the game and the lighting. So the game does look better than it used to look before this. And that actually goes to everything. That's on all platforms. So they did a visual upgrade to even the consoles as well.
We gotta jump in there, man. I still have it.
Oh yeah, definitely do that. And if you don't, for people who are interested in trying out realism mode for the division, the game's only $3 on all platforms right now. And if you buy it and you get it right now, between like I think it was started on March 3rd to April 2nd, the Warlords of New York DLC is free. And
Oh,
the
that's what's up.
realism mode is only in Warlords of New York right now. So, and it's a limited time thing. It ends like the realism mode goes away April 2nd. So it's kind of like if you either
So you got to jump in and play now if you want to like experience it.
basically, yeah. I played a little bit with Gregor. I had to carry him a little bit. He was kind of trash, but it was all right. Shout out to Gregor. And
Shout out to Gregor.
but no, yeah, he jumped in and we did like a mission and a half. Actually, yeah, about a mission and a half we did. Something I will say though, like it's the game is so it's so interesting how games are designed around game mechanics, and then when you change certain game mechanics, it gets a little unbalanced. And what I say by that, what I mean by that is that this realism mode has, outside the fact that like it's not giving you like Isaac, your onboard AI that's always been helping the division agents, isn't giving you directions of where to go. There's no like there's no yellow brick road, so to speak, to help you get there. There's a little bit of icons here and there, but it's
right.
A lot of it is not super intuitive because it's supposed to be realism.
Right.
But outside of that, like the guns don't have the kind of stats that they used to have before, so attachments are different. Recoil is ridiculous because real guns have recoil, but there are certain like missions that were designed around kind of making it like the difficulty came from you, like maybe a DPS check, or whether you had like really good gear or not. And when you're playing by yourself, like I was for a couple missions, and you can very easily die if you get overwhelmed. It was like I died a few times. I had to kind of figure it out, but then it's like it's inconsistent because there are other times where it was just getting stupid easy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that, again, the game wasn't designed from the ground up for this kind of mode, and it still kind of isn't. But I did also see some issues with AI where the AI was just stupid. Like I don't know what was going on with like some of the AI issues. There was a particular time where I went to go take one of the outposts, and maybe like 6 of the enemies were all just standing around. Now I can understand they were all standing around having a conversation, but they were just kind of standing around, just like not doing anything. So I threw a grenade at them. And only 2 of them reacted to the grenade to try to jump out the way. The rest of them just kind of stood there. So I was just like, yeah, AI needs some work. But I mean, outside of that, like there were parts that got really difficult. Just like there's a particular mission in a burning building where you're dealing with the cleaners, and the cleaners, for those who aren't up on like their division lore, they are the former, like, I wouldn't say they were firefighters, but whatever. They're like really hard on burning literally everything to make sure that they don't get sick or they don't get affected. So like they got flamethrowers all over the place in this building, and I'm just trying my best to stay alive.
I'm trying to survive.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, the little ammo cases, crates, they still have them in the world, but you can't use them. So they're just a big tease. They're just there. You run out of ammo so easily because it's supposed to be realism. So you just don't have the ammo available, and so
they don't drop ammo. I mean, they drop ammo. They don't drop their weapons no more, right?
Yep, they don't drop weapons no more. You get more weapons by like I just cleared like on the gameplay. I just cleared this outpost. I got a weapon for that. You get weapons for completing missions and unlocking safe houses. You don't get weapons from enemies. You just get ammo, and so your health is extremely limited. You do not regen health. The only thing that you can do is get put on more armor to kind of like replace the armor that got depleted. And so it's pretty interesting. I'm a complete Warlords of New York again, just to kind of get through the whole experience. I imagine the final mission is going to be hell, because when you take on Keener, it was not easy. That final part fighting him in the regular way as a looter shooter RPG, and so I can imagine it's going to be difficult. Although I did, so when I was playing with Gregor, I killed one of Keener's lieutenants, and I literally just like he's using a lot of holograms and stuff, and when I found the real him, I just rolled up on him and just unloaded. Just dead in like 5 seconds, yo. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. But yeah, I'm gonna keep playing through that. It looks like people in the chat want me to play Resident Evil Requiem. You know,
of course they do. Go ahead and appease the audience.
Yeah, I might have to do that. Also, and I think I started to talk about this, and then I got sidetracked because I got ADHD brain today. But Clizzle 420, shout out to him. When I was streaming this game, Division 2 Realism mode, he was demanding that we play. You and I play some Battlefield 6.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that, and Lord knows I don't want to play Arc Raiders. Because I would have to buy it.
You don't own it? I thought you owned it.
No, I never bought that game. I told you I wasn't going to buy it.
Oh, okay. All right, well.
I told you why I wasn't going to buy it, because of the whole, not being able to put a game down. And I mean, if that's what they want us to do, I'll do it. I mean, I've been thinking about buying it for a while now. After, like I told you last time, I was watching one of my friends stream it, and I was like, yeah, I think it's about that time. So I will pick it up, and if that's what the people want, then we'll do it. But it warmed my heart when they said, let's go into some gotta play some Battlefield. Let's go. We'll do that all day.
You don't never hit me, man. You don't never hit me when you getting on.
That's true. Because I'm so like, never know when I'm jumping on. Half the time it's like, I'm bored, I'm jumping on. And then I play for a couple hours. Next thing I know, I play for like 4 or 5 hours and didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I do that with Call of Duty from time to time, although not so much.
That game's trash.
Look.
That game's
multiplayer ain't trash. The cheaters is trash.
That's what makes that makes the game trash, because, like, bro, the one thing that everybody interacts with the most in the game is like written by cheaters, and I'm sitting there like, this ain't fun.
You ain't play. Hold on. First of all, you only put 5 matches into Call of Duty Black Ops.
Listen, but all I gotta do is hear you talk about it, and it reinforces everything I feel about Call of Duty already. I always feel like they be in there cheap. The fact that you can run around with a sniper rifle and pull it up to your face and shoot.
That's not cheating.
It might as well be. That is so stupid. It's stupid. I will never get over that, bro. I will never get over that. Just to let you know. Never.
Okay.
But I'll play it with you. I mean, but not to say I like it.
Mm-hmm. You ain't played that game with me since November.
I haven't played that game at all since November.
Exactly my point. But no,
thank God for Game Pass. Don't know how much longer it's gonna last, but thank God for it.
Oh, I'm fairly certain you're not gonna see Call of Duty in Game Pass anymore. I think that ship has sailed. But you ready to get into these rapid fire topics, man?
I sure am.
Okay, well, Oh wait a minute, hold on. I
Oh no,
was
no,
not.
you already messing up, bro. Where's
I
my?
know. Hold on. Where is there we go? So we got some good news for Switch players.
Switch player.
Kana Bridge of Spirits is coming to the Switch too.
Nice.
And yeah, sure, it's a little old, but when you didn't have the game in the first place, beggars
Can't
can't be
complain.
choosers, right? Can't complain. It's supposed to be arriving this spring. They didn't have a release date yet, but I'm fairly certain that's probably going to be something coming pretty soon, considering spring is right around the corner. Ember Labs is poised to have a pretty big year when you think about it. They were releasing on Switch 2 for the first game. The second game, I forgot the full title, but I'll just call it Kana 2. Kana 2 is coming out on PlayStation 5 and PC this year. At the same time for both platforms. It's looks pretty good. Looks pretty amazing. Forte, what are your thoughts about Kana Bridge of Spirits going to Switch 2? You going to pick it up on Switch?
You know what? I might actually pick it up on Switch. I definitely didn't get it on Xbox because I already played it on PlayStation, but that game looks gorgeous. What's it gonna look like on the Switch too?
I think it'll look all right. I mean, it's not clearly not going to look as good as like the PC version, right? Or even
PC
the PlayStation
version is stunning.
Yeah, or even the place. Is this game on Xbox? It came out on Xbox, right?
It came out on Xbox, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so it's not going to look as good as any of those versions, but we have seen some cases where
It might look better than those versions on the handheld, honestly, though. Handheld version, but if you put it on the TV, that's where all bets are off.
Well, based off of what I saw with Final Fantasy VII Remake, I mean, we already know this with specs wise. The Switch 2 has more RAM than the Xbox Series S. So there were, in some cases, parts where the Switch 2 actually outperformed the Series S and FF7 Remake. So I wonder, like, when your digital foundries and whatnot do a comparison on it when it comes out there, how well it does. But I think it'll probably play well. I wouldn't expect like amazing frame rates. At least 30. At least 30.
At least 30.
Especially on handheld, you should just expect 30. But maybe docked, you might get 60. I guess it depends. Ember Lab is a capable developer. They're a capable developer that I think a lot of people were surprised at how good the game was for someone who their first time doing this, and of course they're a former animation studio in Hollywood. So for them, this was like look visually was probably nothing for them, but I think when it comes to optimizing things and optimizing it for a platform that has limitations, like, it's gonna be an interesting challenge, I guess, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
All right. Anything else you want to say on this? We can fly through these.
No, I'm good.
Mains. All right, cool.
Oh, really?
You know what? Instead of having the "oh really," I should have had the funeral marching music or something, because
funeral marching music.
High Guard, we barely knew thee. It's a wrap for High Guard, man. Wildlight Entertainment came out with an announcement saying that High Guard is shutting down after just 6 weeks of being on the market. Its final day will be on March 12th, which is a week from now. They've already incurred massive layoffs, and it's unfortunate to see people lose their jobs. I do hope that everyone that's affected finds work soon, gets a new gig soon. Hopefully, one that's a bit more successful, a bit more promising. But to we discussed this game weeks ago when it first came out, and I can't say I'm surprised. I mean, I kind of saw this coming. I knew it would last longer than Concord did, which was just 2 weeks, because like almost no one just gives up in 2 weeks. But the developer, like, I don't even know where the monetization system is in the game. Like, I guess they had a battle pass. I guess you paid for cosmetics. I didn't see where that was. I just it's a lot of interesting ideas that just did not work out well, did not execute well, and the gunplay was fine. I do think that the gunplay is not the problem. As like one of their directors tried to say, oh, with this, it was too much. The 3v3 PvP was too sweaty for most people. I'm like, what? What are you talking about, man? That wasn't the problem. Yeah, the problem is that you had too many different systems that didn't work well together.
You had too many games trying to be one game and couldn't do one thing right.
Yeah, you had a huge map for 3v3. Why? You had base building. Let me armor up the walls in my base, and it's like, sure, okay, but you know, it's
this ain't Fortnite Save the World. Even they got rid of that. They just added it to something else.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It's I do kind of wonder if the plug wasn't pulled by Tencent, who was the private investor who was funding this. I kind of wonder if the rug wasn't pulled under them, how they would have changed or adjusted the game based on feedback. You know, they were pretty quick to add. What was it, 6v6? They added, I think they added that. I can't remember. I didn't go back to play it when they added more players. But you know, I got rest in peace. We hardly knew thee. Forte, any thoughts, sir?
Man, I'm just trying to figure out when did we actually think that this was do we actually think that this was something that would actually make it past? Now, I will say this. I ain't expected to not make it past the first couple of weeks, but it's crazy that game. I knew something about that game when when I was looking at, because everybody keeps saying, you're not trying it. I was like, no, why? I was like, that game doesn't do anything good. That is trying to take a bunch of things that other games do and doesn't even do that right.
I kind of switch gears a little bit. Marathon released today, and when I checked its Steam charts, it had about 86,000 people playing it, which is not as many people that tried out the service land, but still, you know, a decent number of people. Like I mean, I don't know if that's enough for Bungie and Sony as far as what they're looking for, but if you're an indie developer and you got 86,000 people playing your game, you're pretty happy. But day one, you know, that's different than day 200, right? That said, I do kind of wonder how long Marathon may last. Like I did buy the game because I wanted to play it with a few people. I got some friends that want to play Marathon, so I said, all right, well, I'll pick it up. I'll play it with them. How long we're playing it is TBD. But what's your prediction on Marathon? How long do you think it lasts?
Wait. Hold on. I gotta read the last rights about Highguard. Here, let me tell you this. Bear with me for a second. The last rights of Highguard. We gather today to remember Highguard, a video game that arrived with promise, excitement, and the hopes of many players. It released in early 2026 by Wildlife Entertainment. Highguard stepped into the gaming world as a fast-paced multiplayer hero shooter, inviting players to form squads, defend objectives, and test their
Are
skills
you reading AI?
No. Intense battles.
Did you go to AI and say, AI, can you give me a eulogy? A eulogy for this game?
Through its time among us was brief. Highguard carried the spirit of competition and teamwork for the players who dropped into the matches. It offered moments of triumph, frustration, laughter, and a thrill that only multiplayer games can bring. In its short life, it built a small but passionate community of people that don't understand what gaming really is, and they became fans of it. Like many ambitious projects,
where are you reading this from?
Hold on.
That is some slanderous information right there. If you are a Highguard fan, I would be offended.
Like many ambitious projects, Highguard faced challenges in the crowded world of online gaming. Despite the dedication of the developers and the enthusiasm of the fans and Jeff Keighley, the game struggled to maintain the large player base needed to survive. And so in March of 2026, its servers prepared to go dark.
Oh my gosh.
Wait. Highguard is survived by the memories of
I knew that part was coming because the eulogy at the end. You gotta add the survived by family members.
The strategy shared, the friendships formed in this broken arena through its servers. Though its servers may shut down, its brief existence reminds us of creativity, risk, and passion that brings new worlds to life. Even knowing this game had no life, may it rest in peace. Highguard, your battles are over, but the story remains broken.
What are you doing? That is hilarious. So
shout out to ChatGPT.
I knew this man went to AI and asked.
No, I've been did it. As soon as I saw it in a rundown, I was like, oh, I have to make a eulogy for this game. So I had to literally go back and add Jeff Keighley to it, add broken and dead game, add broken maps and stuff like that. It did a really good job. I'm not gonna lie.
Man.
Yeah, that was funny. Right. Let's go.
Well, like I said, hope the people affected find a new job soon, and hopefully the next game Jeff Keighley backs is one that has a bit more promise. Now on to some good news.
Good news.
Oh, that was the wrong one.
What was that? That's not gonna happen to me though. What was that? What was that? Whoa, you can't just move on. What was that?
That was from Boondocks. The soundboard.
Happened to me though.
Yeah. So anyway,
Grandpa. As soon as that happened, I was like, "Is this Boondocks?" You picked the good one at least.
Yeah.
Not gonna happen to me though.
Good grief. Capcom. Shout out to Capcom. Capcom, they're enjoying the success of Resident Evil Requiem, which is the fastest selling Resident Evil in history. Congratulations to them.
Yes, sir.
But they're also doing a little bit of bragging on their success. They say the sales are doing pretty well, and 50% of their game sales are coming from PC. And they expect that number to increase in the future. Additionally, they've said that they will further strengthen their PC development framework so that the challenges that they've overtaken when it comes to games like Monster Hunter Wilds and the performance issues that game had at launch, they are applying the lessons learned from that to future development on PC in the future. So Forte,
yes,
what's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. Okay, the question I'll ask you is, is there a timetable on that?
Well, actually, for the past few years, Capcom has had their game sales hitting over 50% on PC. And so what I think they're doing is that when PC is now kind of becoming your lead platform, you need to make sure that the games are optimized at launch. You don't want to give yourself self-inflicted L's. Because if you release a game that's buggy, that's unoptimized, there's no one else to blame for that but you. You're the one who chose to release it. You're the one who chose not to delay it or make sure that it was further polished before it came out. What can you say? There's no one else to blame but you. And so in that scenario, like now they're seeing that, you know, PC gaming community is really embracing Capcom and their games. And I think what was it with Requiem? I think it had over concurrent players on Steam was over a quarter million.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Resident Evil has always actually that's the best it's ever been on Steam, but I think like Monster Hunter has done so well and probably has done better than Resident Evil has.
I would think so too.
Yeah, with all of their games doing good, I just think that at this point they're looking at like we need to make sure that how we develop games on PC, how RE engine is how our tools for PC for RE engine are maturing. We need to make sure that those things are great first for all future development because there's a ton of people I know that were all in for Monster Hunter Wilds, but the performance issues, really embarrassing performance issues on their part, those issues really really soured some people. Like I know a few people that were just like, yeah, I'm not gonna bother no more. And even though they may have got the sale on that particular game, you never know if someone just decides to just like I'm just not gonna bother with Capcom at all.
Right.
If this is how you're gonna release games. So I think
I agree with
they should in the future I think they're going to definitely do the right thing there. Anything else you want to say on it? Forte?
Oh shoot, I had myself muted. I do think it really comes back to just where your players are, and that's kind of been, like you said, that's kind of been for the most part where they've been met at. It doesn't help the fact that, you know, performance issues and stuff on console and stuff has kind of led to that. I mean, it hasn't even been like it's been the greatest when it comes to, you know, PC. I mean, the Resident Evil games have been doing pretty good on there. But even Monster Hunter, when it comes out, has, especially on console, at launch, kind of unplayable for like the first couple of weeks. Whereas on PC, it's a little bit better because you can kind of brute force things there. So it all makes sense to me. But, you know, but at the end of the day, you're going to go where your players are, and I don't see it being like an immediate thing, but I do see it like kind of moving in that direction. But a lot of games are kind of moving, like, you know, the growth on PC is like extraordinary at this point with the amount of people that are like moving over. I don't see that changing due to the fact that, you know, especially with the whole PlayStation thing that we'll talk about, what's going on with them and everything. I just think in general, it's just going to come back to the point where, you know, we're already at that point now where people are kind of making a decision and it's making it easier. Yeah, go ahead.
Since you mentioned PlayStation, have you noticed people seeming to trying to use Capcom as a reason why PlayStation shouldn't do what they're doing with exclusive games? I don't really see them
I don't really see
apples to apples comparison whatsoever, because PlayStation has a platform. They have hardware that they need to look after, push, create value for. And the best way to create value for hardware is through exclusive games.
It's through exclusive games.
Exclusive content that you can't get anywhere else, so that you get people to get the hardware. Capcom doesn't have a console to sell you. So yeah, it makes total sense that they want to push their games everywhere. They want to make sure that they're taking care of the communities that are buying their games the most. And you know, I'm just happy to see them in the place that they are, considering where they were at one point.
Where they were, bro. Yeah. Because we were, talking about they needed to be purchased so they could kind of be saved for a long time. And at this point now, it's like they're all, it all started with the remakes of RE 2 and 3. And then the Monster Hunter games really took off. And then they went back to form with Resident Evil, starting with Resident Evil, I want to say Village, even though Biohazard was pretty good. But I think Village was like the one that really, really gave it an identity. And then, this one is like really, really good. So I think them just kind of focus. And this goes back to just focusing on what you're good at. Like, I feel like they refocus on the titles that made them who they are, like, what Capcom is. And, it's not like they shortchange people in those titles. So as long as you do something like that and you kind of like live up to the expectations of what your player base wants from the games that you make, it's easy for you to turn around. It just comes down to just being consistent and doing that. And that's something that Comcast Capcom has done.
Is Comcast your ISP?
They are my ISP. Comcast they're definitely my ISP. Yep.
It's funny.
Yep. Comcast. Yep. Xfinity is what they're called now.
Yeah, they had to change that name.
They had to, man.
For
that
obvious
name,
reasons.
It used to be called Barton Cable a long time ago. So they changed it again.
All right, let's deliver some smoke real quick.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Oh, really? I like smoke. Smoke's good.
So according to Surfshark, I have no idea who that is, but
I was about to say,
that's the source here. According to Surfshark, Call of Duty has the highest rate of players searching for cheats. I will repeat, the highest rate of players going to search engines and searching for cheats. Call of Duty. The top 10 also includes Rocket League, Rainbow Six Siege, and Marvel Rivals, while Valorant has the least amount searched. Now, you can't help. Now, I will say this. Activision cannot help that people are looking for cheats. They can't help that.
No, they can't help that. That's not their fault.
But I did not like their statement anyway. Activision's response to this is, I would say, pretty typical from them. They pointed out that the study isn't about cheating, but people searching for cheats. But my issue is that this is going on and people are searching for cheats. I think it kind of goes hand in hand because they are notoriously light on cheaters. Instead of permabanning cheaters, like for example, Bungie said with Marathon, you get caught cheating, we don't care about your excuses. We don't care about second chances. You are permanently banned. You are never coming back. Whereas Call of Duty will catch someone cheating, and from what I hear from a number of people who have had information privy to this, they're giving people shadow bans. They're getting people light bans. They're like, oh, you get an unlimited ban, or you're only banned for 7 days. What is that? If someone went through all the effort to install cheats on their PC, or went out and spent over $100 or a Cronus or a Zen, and then spent time uploading macros on it so they could cheat on console. If someone went through all that effort, do you think if you gave them a 7-week ban that they would come back and say, you know what? I learned my lesson. I don't want to cheat no more. I'm a new man. No, they're not. They're gonna come
No.
back and start cheating again, or they're probably gonna find, well, how did I get caught last time? Let me figure this out. Let me try to find a better cheat, some better cheats that are not detected. And I talked about this a few weeks ago about how I watched a YouTube video. A Call of Duty content creator was interviewing a self-professed cheater, and they were in a Discord call. He's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna share my screen in Discord, and I'm gonna be cheating. I'm gonna be real obvious too. I'm gonna be. He had walls on. He had wall hacks on. He had a radar. He had aimbot. He had all this stuff. And he said, I'm gonna be just shooting at walls, knowing that they're there, and then kill them as they come around the corner. I'm gonna be so obvious with it that when they look at the kill cam, they know I'm cheating.
No, he's not. One is Xbox, one is PlayStation.
Calm down.
Niggas not
Sorry. My brother's here, SloMo. He said hi.
What up, SloMo?
Hey, what's up, man? What's going on? But no, like the people out here just obviously
slow
cheating.
To the mo, to the hole, to the no, getting things going with the game to the no, with your 5080 can't step it up to a 5090. PC gaming, which you really can't flow because you got an Xbox and you just don't know. Going out of business quick and slow. VPs changing like you don't know. CEOs getting dropped like flies. Xbox everywhere, but it's nowhere. Next Xbox might be a toaster, baby. You never quite know. What up, SloMo?
That was random, bro.
That was so random.
That was just so random. He just came in and just dropped the bar.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh, RK said that sounded like Forte's clone.
Forte's clone. That do sound very similar. Yeah.
That's wild.
But no, I think their issue, the reason why so many people are searching for cheats is because there's so many cheaters in the game that there's a lot of people that have the if you can't beat them, join them mentality. They're not going to be like, all right, well, I'm just like I just deal with it because I can kill these bastards anyway. So I don't really care. I'll just go. I mean, I do care. When there's one that's just blatantly cheating, I just rage quit the match. But like, for the most part, I just keep playing. There are a lot of other people that just like, nah, all right, if everyone's cheating, then I'm going to go join them too. And so that's why you got everyone searching like that. Like I was actually somewhat surprised about Rocket League being up there. I didn't even know people cheated in that game. Like, how do you cheat in Rocket League? I don't know. But of course
I was wondering the same thing. Like, how do you cheat in that game?
Yeah, I mean, it's cars.
It's cars, and you playing soccer.
Yeah, when you get
literally
like,
playing soccer
or something.
Hey, I guess you get like a limited speed boost or something like that. Maybe I can see that being a thing.
Yeah, I mean, but how do you even? I mean, look, I don't know how the game is. I mean, it feels like soccer with cars. So, or at least
that's exactly what it is.
So, I mean, I don't know it. Like, I don't get it, but I do kind of understand Valorant having the least amount of cheating because their anti-cheat's really.
Oh, their
good.
anti-cheat is legit.
Yeah, so like they take it seriously, and I feel like the degree of cheating is directly determined by how the company decides to deal with it and whether they are going to stick to it and not just give lip service. And Activision, it's just been way too much lip service, way too much. Oh, we really care, and it's just like no, you don't. You don't. You don't really care. Any thoughts on this, man?
No, I mean, outside of just the fact that listen, I have people that I haven't recently, I guess people are kind of giving up, but that Cronus Max, man, or Cronus Zen, people were calling I probably got a call at least 8 or 9 times a week about a Cronus Zen. Like, do you have one?
Keep them in the store? Like, do you always have them in stock, or is it like...
Oh no, I never have them in stock. As soon as I get them, they're gone. Like that same day or within 2 days, they're gone. They don't stay in my store. And we can order them off the website.
How is there so many people that want them? I mean, you would think at some point you would just like everyone who wanted one would just already have one, right?
Well,
It's
no.
just
Well,
like,
this is a funny thing though. At least like people don't even hide it anymore. Like I'll ask, like, man, what do you need that
Yeah.
for, man? He was like, man, listen, I gotta do what I gotta do. These people out here cheating. I gotta be able to fight fire with fire. At least they telling the bro. They out here, they legit be telling you, like, no, I have to because everybody else is using it. And I'll be thinking to myself, just play a different game.
yeah, look. I would rather play it. I will quit before I start cheating. Like when I used to play Road Company all the time, and when High Res Studios couldn't deal with the cheaters, like they were trying to stop the cheaters. They just not enough resources, not
Right.
enough, like they just couldn't handle it. And when it got to the point where every lobby is dudes like freaking laser sighting on your forehead, I was just like, you know what? I'm
good.
I'm good. I washed
You're
my
good with
hands of it. And that, and the fact that the servers were crashing every other match is just like, bro, I can't. I just can't keep doing this. But that's how games die. And even though Call of Duty is a monster, even though this game's sales are the worst it's been in years, it's still last year in just what, like 2.5 months was number 5 in the United States as far as games sold. So it's still got a massive community. I just don't understand. Like I don't understand why they don't get it, that if they permanently ban some of these players, and maybe they would feel like, oh well, our numbers are down compared to previous years. But I feel like if you permanently ban these players that are the bad actors, that the other people would start playing more, or come back and play more. It just, yeah, man, they just gotta suck it up and
I agree.
stop lying. Anyway.
Girl, stop lying.
Matter of fact, talking about lying, let's talk about this real quick. Because this is hilarious. Did you see Iron Galaxy? Iron Galaxy, the developer that does remasters and PC ports.
Yeah.
So recently, I guess they had a presentation or something, and this is the wrong. Why is this not? All right, hold up. Check that way. They had some kind of presentation or something, and they showed essentially a slide that they basically showed that they were going to be doing the remasters for Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, which we all knew that was in development, but apparently it's them that's doing it. People were so angry about this, which I get it, because Iron Galaxy is they look, the best
Didn't they didn't make Killer Instinct, but they maintained Killer Instinct after
was that them?
Yeah, Iron Galaxy
I thought
was
that was someone else.
No, it was Iron because did the Iron Galaxy go under Amazon or something? Or
no, they're not under Amazon. I thought, maybe there's someone in the chat that knows this for certain. I thought there was a different studio that kind of does similar work to Iron Galaxy that was on Killer Instinct, but these bullet points are on Iron Galaxy's resume. The Batman Arkham Knight PC port, like widely held one of the worst PC ports ever created, right? They did the Uncharted collection PC ports for PlayStation.
Yeah, it was Iron Galaxy.
Those on PC. Oh, so it was Iron Galaxy.
Iron Galaxy maintained it. Double Helix is the one that created it. That made it.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll give more credit to Double Helix. Anyway, but like so I have the PC port for Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy that Iron Galaxy did. It's super mediocre, and like they didn't even take advantage of the fact that like PC has access to upscalers and better like actual features that you could put into the game. Instead, it was just a straight port from PlayStation. Its ultra settings were literally just like the quality settings on PS5. It was just like, what are we doing here? So you got that, and then they were the ones that were quote unquote helping Naughty Dog with The Last of Us Part 1, which was epic disaster. So it's completely understandable that so many people heard that basically they're doing these remasters for Fallout 3 in New Vegas, and we're like, oh man, it's going to be a disaster, because typically with them it is. The hilarious part though was, if you looked on Twitter and you saw that it looked like the Iron Galaxy Twitter account quote retweeted a report that was talking about it and saying, oh, this is sorry, our mistake, is no big deal. We're not really working on that. Nothing to see here. And the hilarious part is that In Exile, a Microsoft studio, their Twitter account replied to that with the whole, well, that's a effing lie meme. So it was just, I'm like, yo, so you getting called out by another Microsoft studio that clearly probably actually has that information, especially considering In Exile, those developers made the first two Fallout games, 1 and 2. So they probably have some inside baseball on what's going on there. So I just thought the whole thing was hilarious. But all that said, what are your thoughts on Iron Galaxy doing these remasters?
Them doing the remasters. Like I said, I didn't have a problem with. I think they did season 2 and 3 for what's the name? And I remember when they got
season
purchased.
2 and 3.
Season 2 and 3 of Killer Instinct.
Okay.
When did they is they under now?
Well, it might be what was that publisher that was buying everyone and then everything bottomed out and they had to start selling everything off?
They're private now, but I know they got purchased by somebody. Can't remember.
NetEase?
It might have been NetEase. It's in Chicago for Killer Instinct season, and yeah, they rebooted season 2 and 3. Dang, I actually remembered that. That's crazy. It's been so long since then. Well, needless to say, they worked on a lot other than that game. They worked on like Dive Kick and they worked on Angry Birds. It's like they worked on a lot of smaller things, like, outside of doing like some port work they did like the port for Arkham Knight, if I remember correctly, to PC. Yeah, it definitely was. Well, let's be for real. Arkham in general was horrible. Like most of the Batman games didn't perform well on PC. They like ran better on console.
Well, I
no, go ahead. What were you about to say?
I was trying to think. I thought maybe I had played one on PC. Oh, wait, no, I did. I played Arkham. What's the one?
Oh, I think this is gonna be terrible. I forgot that they did the port.
What's the Arkham game that no one likes?
Origin.
Yeah, I played Origin on PC. It was bad. Like it was really bad. So yeah, maybe, but at least the other ones were playable. Like Arkham Knight wasn't even playable. I think that was the main.
Do you
issue.
remember? So I know you have it on PC. The Handsome Collection.
Yeah, they did that.
You have it? Yeah.
Wait, no, I own all the Borderlands games on PC, but I got them kind of like individually through sales. The Handsome Collection itself, I own that on Xbox.
You did, so you don't own the Handsome Collection on PC?
Nah.
Ooh. Dang, I was hoping you would have told me, because they're the ones that brought the Handsome Collection over to PC.
Well, it wasn't. I remember when the Handsome Collection first came out, it was the first time I ever saw a screen tearing on a console. I had never seen screen tearing on a console before. But like Borderlands 1 Enhanced Collection, when they remastered, I was like, what is going on at the top of the screen? Every time I got in the vehicle and started driving, it was just screen tearing all the top quarter of the screen. I'm like, what in the? I'm like, I've never seen that before on a console. So like, it wouldn't surprise me if they did all of them. Just because like, look, I'm pretty sure that yes, I'm throwing a lot of shade on Iron Galaxy. All right, sue me.
You definitely are. They kind of
the best they have done is just being mediocre from what I've seen when it comes to not. And I'm not saying about Killer Instinct. I'm talking about when they do ports and remasters of games.
Yeah.
The best I've seen is Uncharted, which wasn't great. It had stuttering all over the place. It had artifacting on the screen and textures not loading in correctly. And I'm just like, bro, it's not that. I mean, let me not say it's not that difficult because I'm not a developer. But
yes, Lomo, you're
come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, can we do this right, please? And so when you look at Fallout 3, and those games are like, I'm not a big Fallout fan, but those games are beloved, right? And I just kind of feel like you're going to get the bare minimum with Iron Galaxy. Like, it's just going to be like maybe a resolution bump and maybe a couple extra textures here and there, but nothing substantial, like not redoing environments, none of that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I wouldn't be hyped for it.
Anyway, you're basically saying I'm not excited.
No, not at all.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Now, this next one might have some people excited because we got an announcement that Starfield is coming to PlayStation finally. You know, we knew.
Well,
this
Phil
was
Spencer
happening.
ain't there to fight the good fight no more.
Not that he was fighting it anyway, but supposed to come to be PlayStation 5 on April 7th. Confirming basically what we've known for years, as well as there are a number of improvements to Starfield that's coming out this month for the platforms that already have it. Forte, did you ever play Starfield? I can't remember.
Yeah, I just didn't finish it. I played it. Remember, I think I was like 23 hours in. I just didn't finish it.
Why'd you stop?
Lost interest.
What did I do? So I beat Starfield, and then I started doing the New Game Plus stuff. Now, I mean, it's been a few years, so I guess I can talk about this. It's a very, very innovative New Game Plus. I really kind of enjoyed the way they designed that, the way they made New Game Plus like a part of the narrative. And I think was Starfield all that it was hyped up to be? No. But I do think it was a very, very good game. And I might reinstall it, you know, once the new stuff comes out, because it's supposed to be new enemies. I'm not quite certain about new factions, but it's supposed to be new story stuff and something about an expansion, I think. And as well as new weapons and all kinds of other stuff. So I haven't played it in a while. So it probably would feel somewhat fresh for me to jump in it and mess around, you know, in a game that I haven't played in a long time. But yeah, I'm gonna try it out. I'm not sure I can try it out on PlayStation. I already, got it on PC, but
you already got it on PC. So
I'm gonna be messy.
Will, though.
I'm gonna be messy for a second. Do you think the PlayStation version is going to have a performance mode?
Yes, because it's going to be pro enhanced.
Right.
It's going to be pro enhanced, and it's going to run better than the Series X.
Oh yeah, the Pro would definitely. It's definitely gonna run better than the Series X. But I had to say that because remember when Todd Howard was like, it wasn't gonna have a performance mode when it first launched on Xbox,
I remember.
on either the X or S because what did he say? He said there was.
He said because of this. Didn't he say because of the cinematic experience?
Yeah, something like that. Something ridiculous. Like
Yeah,
you
he
know,
was like, it was. He
certain-
said we crafted the game to run at 30 frames per second because of it's like some cinematic experience. I was like, what? And that's where the whole thing where people was like the cinematic experience gameplay 30 frames per second. If you want your game to be cinematic, it has to be at 30 frames. Because it definitely was cinematic because I remember him talking about movies because movies are shot at 24 frames per second.
Yeah. But
And he was like, but they're movies.
right.
You're watching the movie, not trying to control it.
You're not playing the movie. Right.
I was like, cinematic experience, 30 frames. I was like, as soon as he said that, bro, I said, I will never play this game on console. I will never play it on console. I will only play it on PC. And I never got a chance. I never experienced that that thing he was talking about.
Yeah, that was wild. Because just by saying that, I'm like, all right, so on PC, is it 30 FPS? Of course not.
Of course
what
not.
are you talking about? And then also remember when he was saying when people were like, yo, this performance is kind of trash, it's kind of cheeks at launch because they didn't optimize for anything but AMD hardware.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, oh, if you were having performance issues with the game, you just need to upgrade your PC. It's clearly your PC.
I was like, what?
This man, I'm like,
Man.
What GPU was out at that time? Was the 3090 the most powerful GPU at the time?
Yes,
I think?
yes, the 3090 was.
On a 3090, people were struggling to get 60 FPS. He had the audacity to say, upgrade your PC. Upgrade it to what? Because it was the best GPU on the market at the time. What are you talking about, bro? And then like 2 or 3 weeks after that, like it was, they put out a patch where like NVIDIA and Intel hardware got like a 20% boost. But there was no like significant boost for anything AMD's CPU or GPU wise. And people was like, exactly. Yeah. So
Yep.
shout out to Todd Howard, one of our favorite liars.
That was pretty wild.
I think Ramon's jumping.
Ramon's here. Listen,
up,
man.
Ramon?
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Yo, how's it going, guys?
What's
It's
up, Ramon?
going. You here now?
Did you play Starfield?
Yeah, I did. I need to go back and replay it because I didn't finish it because
you got bored.
No, I actually liked it a lot. It's just that I got some stuff happened and I got really busy, and then something else came out, and I was like, and then I did something that soft locked me from finishing the game, and it wasn't the game itself. It's just I think I didn't do enough to make me strong enough for the final part, and I was getting handled.
And you kind of when you were at what do you call it, the point of no return?
Point of no return, and I couldn't I remember I actually like warped back to other planets, but I couldn't do anything. So it was just like I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have to start this over, which is fine because I like the game enough to play it over again. So I thought it was a good game. I just think it collapsed under the weight of being deified by expectations from the Xbox community. But the funny thing about
look at you blaming the Xbox community, man. Look at this.
They raised that game up to deity status. Like, come on, you like there's being excited for a game, which I was. There's being excited for a game, and then there's raising a game up to where it's impossible to meet expectations. And I think that's what happened to them.
I never thought I would ever hear my friend of the community say the Xbox community overhyped the game. I thought I would never hear that.
Well, all I'm going to do is tell you the truth. I only speak the truth.
I'm not going to speak for the entire Xbox community, but
the zealotry is what I meant.
Fanboys will be fanboys, and so they're going to overhype things. Like we see it everywhere. We see y'all Nintendo drones overhyping Pokemon. You know, we see it all the time. We see
Pokemon's
we saw
awesome.
we saw the PlayStation community like capping for Sons of Sparta. It's it is what it is.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. So I misspoke. I meant the zealotry. I didn't mean the normal fan base. But the funny thing about Starfield is it was the final thing that sent me to PC, because when they announced that it was going to be 30 frames per second, that was when I did Samuel Jackson's Shaft, when he threw his badge and it embedded into the wall and he walked out. So
But
that's
what's
what
wild? I know a few more people who Starfield was the last straw for them, and they
Oh, wow.
like went, because I think at first it was Redfall that one, it was a disappointment, and that one didn't have a performance mode at launch, right? And so there was that, and then right after, on the heels of that, Starfield, then you had Todd Howard making excuses and everything, and then people just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go build a PC, and I don't have to worry about having my performance be beholden to that developer, permanently. Not because clearly we were just talking about how it wasn't optimized, but it did eventually get optimized to the point where now when you're playing the game at whatever frame rate you choose, whatever resolution you choose, you want to play it at all low settings and play it at 5,000 frames per second, you could do that. It's your prerogative. Whereas on console, whatever the developer said is going to be is what it's going to be, whether you like it or not. So, yeah, but look, glad it's finally coming out on PS5. Maybe some of these guys who pretended like they didn't care for the game will, magically have all this love for it in a few weeks.
You know
they did Avowed.
You know that's about to happen.
They hated on Avowed so hard, and then hey, this RPG's pretty good. I'm like, wow, that was quite a 180. But like I said, fanboys are fanboys. Anything?
Sour grape.
Right. Anything else you guys want to say? We got one more a rapid fire that we can get into the main topics.
No, that's it.
I'm good.
All right, so Sony Santa Monica's game that Cory Barlog has been working on is apparently not a sci-fi game, but instead a spin-off set in the God of War universe. It has been confirmed that the new main protagonist of the spin-off is Faye, Kratos' dead wife, and that it's going to be somehow more action oriented than God of War, the regular God of War game. I don't know how you can do more than that, but cool. All right. Forte, I know you love God of War. What are your thoughts about this?
You know what? I actually am kind of looking forward to this because, Fred was a giant, kind of see a different play style inside of a God of War game.
Did you say Fred?
I said Freya.
Oh, I thought you said Fred. I'm like, Fred? Who the
That's
heck
what
is
I thought
that?
you
Okay,
said
my
too.
bad.
I was like, who's Fred?
No.
Okay,
it's not
so
Freya, by the way.
it wasn't mishearing.
I just said it pretty fast, but yes, I said it fast.
Freya,
but yeah,
Freya is the witch. Freya is the witch, by the way, Forte. She's not
No, yeah, Freya
Yes.
is the girl, is the witch.
Faye.
His wife.
I think
What's his
Faye,
name? Faye is his
or
wife.
something like that.
Yeah. I was thinking, yeah, Faye.
Ramon Forte
Ramon,
played this game.
It's been a
He
while.
did not pay attention to the story. I just know he ain't paying attention. Go ahead.
No. Listen, Faye. Actually, it's easy to just when you think. I'm thinking.
I'm messing with you.
Yeah, I know you are. It's just Faye. Yeah, I mean, it's not like you ever saw Faye. You just know she was a giant.
You didn't,
That's it.
right? Well, you saw her dead body wrapped up, but that was
You ain't see her. That could have been logs in there dressed up like a body. Who knows?
This man did a whole burial ceremony for some logs. Forte.
He could have. Listen,
you did.
The man was emotionally charged after that.
This man was emotional about a wooden figure in the shape of a woman.
Listen, man.
Okay.
Listen, man. That man. Listen, that was the God of War, the same person that climbed Mount Olympus and
Mount who?
Mount Olympus.
Here we go.
Mount Olympus. What did you hear me say this time?
Olympus? I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
no.
I'm messing with you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go
you
ahead.
are.
Look.
Yeah, but that
No,
man climbed
'cause-
he climbed Mount Olympus and punched a hole through Poseidon and beat the hell out of him on the top of the hill. It was great.
This is my question for you because
Yes,
I
go
know
ahead.
you loved God of War 2018.
It's the
but
only
you did
reason I
not
bought a
care-
PS5. Is
But
for
you
20.
but you didn't really care for Ragnarok like that. So
No, because I felt like it was. Go ahead.
So Corey Barlog is doing this one, and he did 2018. So do you think this spinoff is going to be a better game than Ragnarok was? Not saying you think Ragnarok's a bad game, it just wasn't.
No, Ragnarok's not a bad game. I just felt like it was too much. It's like 2018 was
too
like
much content.
yeah,
Too much
kind
what?
of
Like
too much
side
content, but the
quests?
side quest stuff was like wild, bro. I was like, bro, can we just get back to the main story? Like, and the thing is, and the thing is, you could actually go through Ragnarok and just play just the content by itself. But bro, you are so underpowered if you don't do that extra stuff. It's like I like how 2018, like if you wanted to go off the beaten path, you could. If you wanted to do the what was the fights, the side fights that you could do in 2018? What was the name of the ladies? I forget their names.
Oh boy, now I'm about to
Oh my god,
What
I'm
lady?
drawing
What ladies?
the
Valkyrie?
the Valkyries.
the
There we
Valkyries.
go.
Yeah, because Queen Valkyrie was something. Oh my god. But yeah, when you played the Valkyries, it's like that was like you did the extra content because you wanted to power up to do the Valkyries and stuff. And this one, you had to do the side stuff in order to beat the game. And I felt because it got to the point where you were just so underpowered. And I felt like a lot of the side quests just lingered on more than it needed to. But this isn't about that. So yes, I do think it might be.
I would say this about those side quests. In the beginning of Ragnarok, I was doing everything.
Oh, I
every
was
side
too.
quest, every little, like every boss, every little area that I would come across, and I didn't need to stop, but I would stop. And then it's just like
you got tired.
I got tired. Like it's like a switch had flipped, and I just said I ain't doing this no more.
Yep.
But I had done enough side stuff that I didn't felt like I was underpowered. I just beelined all the main content, and there's a certain point. I think you would have finished the game if you would have hit this one story beat that's super significant. Like it's basically it's a huge plot twist.
You know, I stay spoiler free for that still, so I haven't looked at anything, so I still don't know how that. No.
So you want me to tell you?
No. You can tell. You said is a very, and I agree with you. The thing was, it was like because when 2018 came out, that was in the middle of my Destiny run, and I actually put Destiny down for like 2 weeks to play that game. Like I think I beat it with 39 hours or something like that when I beat it. And I played it straight through. Like I just kept playing until I was done with it. And then it was the same thing. Like when I got to Ragnarok, I was playing it. I liked it. It's still not to this day, I still think it's a great game, but I just got tired. And then I think something else just kind of took over. And then I just never went back to it. And I keep telling and then I even bought it on PC thinking and I think that's when I decided that I am going to finish it because I bought it on PC. I said, well, I'm going to have to start over because I don't remember anything, like any of the systems or anything from Ragnarok.
Did you beat it on PC?
And that's the thing. I haven't even installed it on my PC. I did buy it. I need to get back to it, but that game bored the living crap out of me. But the thing is, I know it's gonna get
this other one though.
I am interested in the new one because I do think the thing with Corey, the direction of the game and how he's going to go about getting you through it, I think it's going to be a little bit more contained. It's not, I mean, I'm not saying he's not going to add some fluff to it, because even 2018 had some fluff, but I think the fluff that it did have was just enough. Like it kind of had the right balance of side quests, story beats. And when the story beats hit, it made you feel like, oh man, I just did 3 or 4 side quests, and then this crazy thing happened, and it makes you want to push through. Even if you're tired, you just want to keep playing. And I think that's from what I'm hearing from you, that happened for you in Ragnarok. I just didn't get to that point in Ragnarok. So, you know, like I said, I will never take anything away from Rock, because I think it's going to be a good game. I just got to finally finish it. But I am excited to see Corey back in the driver's seat with this one, because I do think that just the polishing of just the overall experience, because I think the game was great. I just think the experience of getting through it will be a lot better with this. And plus, it's a different point of view. You get a chance to play as Faye, and, you know, get to see like the other side with the giants and everything. And it's just a completely different play style of the game. And, you know, I want to see what that's like too.
Okay. Another question, story wise, and sometimes I have this feeling about games that are prequels.
I got a feeling.
When you kind of know the fate of a character, it kind of, depending on how it's executed, but
Takes away from
sometimes, yeah, it takes something away, because it's just like, what am I fighting? I mean, not saying what am I fighting for here, but it's just, well, I already know what's going to happen to this character. You know, like it's always in the back of my mind sometimes. Do you think about that sometimes? Is that going to be a problem here, or is it really just depend on how they develop the game?
No, because it is about, because sometimes I think it's about the journey. Like, you know, it's just like movies. Like, we all knew what was going to happen at the end of Endgame. We just wanted to see how it happened. Like, what was their version of how this was going to portray itself. But the whole story was written already for the most part. So it was just the experience of getting there. And I think games are in the same vein of that. It's just more of an interactive experience that you have to like kind of walk the player into those different environments instead of just showing it to them. So I don't have a problem with that, but I can see a person that does like their attention span is like, I don't care about this because I already know how it's going to end. You know, there is a lot of people out there like that. And with that being the case, hopefully if they, and then this is when that whole conversation about the order you play things happens is, if that was to be the case, I would tell people to start with this. So they don't even know what game. I would say,
okay.
I would, if you never played God of War and this is the case, I would not even knowing what this game's going to be, knowing that you could be playing as Faye, I would say, start with this, then play 2018, then play Ragnarok, just so you don't have that bad, not won't say bad experience, but have that experience of feeling like, oh, I didn't even know what happened. And then when you in this one, you kind of see what happens and then how it affects, you know, Kratos and, you know, Atreus and everything. And then you go into that. So, but I can see for people that already played experience, it's going to be a little bit of probably a little jarring to like say, do I actually really care about this?
Gotcha. Ramon, you want to say something?
Yeah, that could potentially backfire, because when you have prequels, a lot of times they'll do references and callbacks to the previous games that take place after it, and then you know, you might not get those references. Like I've played a few even though it's a small thing, Yakuza 0 has that, where there's this one cool thing that happens in the end, but it doesn't carry the same weight with you if you didn't play the other games that preceded it. But as far as this game, it's kind of funny that this subject came up for two reasons. One, I'm doing a replay through the entire saga, so I just made it. I played like 5 of the 6 games in the Greek saga. I was starting God of War 3 tomorrow, and then I'm going to go through the Norse games.
Nice.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie though, my eyes been watering in that 720p 30 frames per second.
Let's go. You got.
Oh my
Let's go.
God, it's been rough in those Vaseline graphics, but you know what? The games still hold up decent. The other thing is, while you were talking, I got a notification from a website called Collider, and it says God of War's creator already hates Prime Video's new series.
Well, I mean, that screenshot they showed was
It's pretty bad.
not
Yeah,
well
it's pretty
received. That
Yeah.
look, dude looked like he was God of diabetes instead of God of War. That
Out of diabetes and not
the what is the boy's name?
Atreus.
Atreus. The kid they cast for him looks too young. He
looks
doesn't
too
look
young, and he doesn't look like his hair should be short. He's the son of a Spartan. His hair shouldn't even look like I know I'm nitpicking, but he's the son of a Spartan, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's not gonna look like that.
Yeah. Yeah, and this look, I think they probably used AI or something. I don't know, but like
Oh.
the fact that Amazon showed that, not very promising. Because like when I first saw it, I was like, this is fake. I was like, yeah, nah, this is somebody that made this up and people actually believe. I can't believe people believe this is it, right? This is what my whole reaction was. And then I saw I think the first tweet I saw came from Wario64. He doesn't tweet out nonsense. So I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. That's Wario? Then I saw that Amazon was really like, yeah, this is God of War. I was like, oh, wow. That's not good.
Yeah, when I saw
I do
that,
think the other castings around it are good. I haven't seen the way they look yet, but just like the castings themselves seem all right. But I don't know, man. It's
We'll see.
Yeah, it's looking kind of rough. But as far as the Faye, I think her name is Faye. The game with Faye, like I'm all in. Like I recognize Ragnarok might have felt kind of bloated for some. I couldn't get enough of it.
Thank you for saying it. That's the word. I couldn't think of the word to use, but yeah, bloated is the
biggest.
And
I can see where some people would feel that way. Like, I'm such a huge fan that maybe I'm just a little bit biased because I didn't burn out on it. And
I played Assassin's Creed in that game.
Oh, see now. All right, now you're going too far. Assassin's Creed is ridiculous. Like, let's not get carried away, dude.
Too much stuff.
Let's not get carried away now. Yeah, but
I'm just saying,
but yeah,
that's what it felt like after a while.
And then you need to go play Assassin's Creed Origins and Odyssey.
No, what? That's the extreme. That's the extreme.
I would tell you from a game design perspective, the thing that really annoyed me about Ragnarok is that in some of the areas, it seemed as if the puzzles were really just there to try to like pad time or to make it take longer for you to accomplish whatever mission that you were doing in that area. Because if you really think about it, like if the puzzle wasn't there, I would be there for 5 minutes. And not saying the puzzles were like difficult to comprehend or decipher, but some of them were very much like time trials. Like, oh, let me throw the axe over here, knock this thing down, recall the axe, run over here, throw the axe over there, and then get like in just enough time, throw the axe at the third thing and to open a door. And it's just like, why is this here? It's just it was so much of that made me kind of feel like this is how much time I'm spending on these puzzles is really padding this out. And I think that's where I started to kind of get annoyed with all the side content. And not saying like they shouldn't have put it in there, but it's very much kind of like with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth as well. I felt like has way too much side content.
Oh my God, I didn't finish it.
Yeah, it gets to the point where you just go, I only cared to do once I figured out and I'm just going. I know this is a side tangent, but with Rebirth, once I figured out that doing the side quests had like it gives you like a closer bond with some of your teammates, your party members, and that played a part in who you had a date with, you know, at the whatchamacallit, the yellow saucer. So after that, I was just like, all right, well, I'm only going to do quests that have something to do with Tifa. So because I didn't want to end up with Aerith or like God forbid Barrett, you know. So
what the heck is wrong with Aerith, man? Stop this Aerith slander, man.
Yeah, I gotta side with Forte, man. Folks need to stop slandering.
Y'all need to stop slandering Aerith, man. That's like,
look,
God, she's goated, bro.
Look, man. If I want a toothpick, I would pick one with my teeth. I don't want to date a toothpick.
You act like though. You act like Tifa look like she skipped a couple of meals too. It's not like she that small. But no, listen. The fact that music kicks in and you start tearing up when you hear that music for Aerith, man. When Aerith music comes on, the whole game gets emotional. I'm sorry. It's just how it is.
I agree with Chips in the chat.
Well, he wrong too.
If she was gold, she'd still be alive. Anyway, so I
agree with Chips.
I do think there are some games
she is still alive right now. She ain't dead yet. She might not die. That's the funny thing.
Wait, actually, I wasn't agreeing with Chips. I was agreeing with
you did not finish Rebirth, Forte. You need to finish Rebirth. So sure, we're kind of going at Ragnarok for the side content, but I do think that since we're talking about Corey here, Corey's doing this spinoff with Faye. The criticism of 2018 was it was too much of the same kind of boss, that troll. It was like people were tired of fighting that troll.
The different color troll.
And so I think I don't expect Corey to have that issue with this one. He didn't really get an opportunity to correct that with Ragnarok, right? But I would love to make sure, hopefully, that's not a problem. That some of the things that Ragnarok did better with like boss fights are also reflected in this game. So,
do they have a timeline yet? Like, I know it hasn't been announced yet. Yeah,
I think there was some talk that it when they do their next state of play that they may make the announcement at that point or something like that. But who knows? I mean, in either way, it's probably not coming out for a while. But
yeah,
all right. So you guys ready to get into these main topics, man?
I thought we were already there. It's like we still talking about reallys.
Well, here we go. Asha Sharma, new CEO of Microsoft Gaming, has
the Grim Reaper of gaming.
Lord. So she has announced that Project Helix is the next generation of Xbox. Is going to be a combination of it's going to be able to play Xbox games as well as PC games, and that we will be seeing more about this next week at GDC. And so my question is to Ramon is, what do you expect to see from Xbox at GDC and what they will be speaking of about this new Xbox that's coming out?
What do I expect to see? Well, possibly who's building it for them. Oh my God, man! Like I'm trying to care enough to answer this question.
You should care. But you're a gamer, sir.
That's exactly why I don't care. Because look, okay, let me explain why I'm so down on Xbox, and it's only partially because of all of this other mess. They have no interest in fixing Forza Horizon 5. which is one of my favorite games. Like I love the Forza Horizon series, love it. And they're expressing very little interest in definitively fixing it, and they're not engaging with the community in a definitive way to get this fixed. And then they release a Windows update that introduces all kinds of crap, and they just they seem to have no interest in fixing it. Now, I'm not rambling. To bring this all back around, they have the audacity to talk about a new machine that somebody else is most likely going to build for them. But they seem to have no interest in making their stuff work right. Like, why would I trust them after everything that's been happening? Why would I trust their ability to do anything right when they have just let so many things go by the wayside? Like, I don't know. I just got a bad taste in my mouth from them recently. Like, and you remember me a couple years ago when I was like, I think people are being kind of harsh, blah, blah, blah. I always tried to be even handed with them despite all their crap because I thought they were really making a genuine effort. But now more than ever, I have very little faith in them. So as far as this new machine, I just went off on a tangent. But as far as this new machine, maybe we'll find out who's making it for them and how, I'm sure they'll talk about Play Anywhere and so forth. And other than that, honestly, I don't know. I mean, they'll talk about power, obviously, and they'll talk about features and yada, yada, yada. But outside of that, I can't think of anything really.
I don't even think we're going to get all that. I think it's a little too soon for them to get that deep into the weeds on it. We also got to understand that like GDC is like game developer conference. So this is actually, even though it's become more popular nowadays, and now we find out a lot of information that typically wasn't really addressed to the consumer. They're still kind of having this be something that developers are supposed to see. So I do think that instead of it being about like, say, if I'm just going to throw a company out there, Lenovo or Logitech is making this for us or something like that, it's going to be more about like, okay, so PlayFab, which is like their GDK, their game development kit. We're updating PlayFab so that now you can just like, you'll have like these forks where you can just say, here's the version that you're going to build for PC, here's the version you're going to build for console, and then make it easier for developers to do that. Because something that I've seen over the generations is that developers don't like you adding more work for them.
Nope.
So like this current generation, developers did not like the Xbox Series S because it has a very weird memory configuration, which made it difficult for developers to optimize the game within a time frame that they were happy with, and they found it far more easier to develop on the Series X, and that became a problem. We saw it with Baldur's Gate 3 that took a while to come out on there. And so I think that potentially they may be trying to correct that and show developers why they should be putting their games on their platform. I do think they do have an uphill battle though when it comes to that. On the console front, you're the least popular console. On the PC front, your Xbox app, your Microsoft Store is kind of cheeks. It's not great. It's definitely not the most popular. It's definitely not. You have a certification process that's more akin to something that should be on consoles than on PC. It's not open enough, and I know that they have been working on these things, but and they got the whole full screen experience that they're working on to try to, like, for people who have come from console to PC, make things seem a little bit similar to what they're used to. But in the grand scheme of things, the only games that show up on the Xbox app are the games that are either Play Anywhere or they have a deal in Game Pass, and that's why they're there. And so that's not all the games, it's not a lot of games. And so when that is the case, you need to try to start creating more reasons to get developers into your ecosystem. They've already on PC lowered the split from 70-30, where they get 30%, to like, I think 88-12 or something like that. I think they matched what Epic Game Store does, who also struggles to get players, the PC players, to buy games in that ecosystem. So when your next Xbox is supposed to be on a PC platform, a PC really, and not really a console, which is just a kernel of Windows, you got to really get people to buy in. So I think, long story short, that's what they're actually trying to focus on next week. But I could be wrong. We'll see what happens. Regardless, anything that Asha is showing is not like she actually worked on it, right? She just got there.
She's going to present it.
All this stuff is Sarah Bond and Phil Spencer's leftovers. So and maybe this stuff stays because she looked at it and she was like, okay, this is something that we can continue forward with, or probably more accurately, Satya looked at it and said, yeah, go ahead forward with that. But Forte, what are your thoughts on Project Helix?
Let me think. I got rid of my Xbox already.
Am I the only one here that owns an Xbox?
Yes. I think so.
Interesting. Yeah. Hold on. Is Infinite Umbra still in the chat? I wonder if Infinite Umbra is still in the chat. Because, I got accused of being, as they called, a pony sympathizer. This is what I was accused of. A pony sympathizer. And out of everyone that's on this panel right now, I'm the only one that has an Xbox and actually uses it. That is hilarious. I'm sorry. Continue.
Do you really have an Xbox, or does your kid have an Xbox?
No, I have a Series X.
SloMo, didn't I send you that little video clip of when I sold my Xbox a couple years ago?
Yeah, you sure did. Yeah.
I wish I had saved that. It was on my old phone that I got rid of. I wish I had saved that.
I don't use the thing often. Right now I use it because there's some games that don't come to PC that I want to play. And for example, Unicorn Overlord, which I think is an amazing RPG, is awesome. But that developer, for some reason, is just allergic to PC. They don't want to put their games on PC. I own that game on Switch 2, and I own it on Xbox. And I bought it on Xbox when it first came out, and I'm like probably 2/3 the way through the game. I haven't completed it yet, but when I do play on Xbox, that's what I'm playing. Maybe more people would have Xboxes if they had exclusive games for it. I don't know, So my bad. Man. I have interrupted you too many times, sir. Go ahead and continue, Forte.
Not like this. This man is tripping. No, I can play everything on PC. It's not changing. So it's like,
that's true.
It's no, like, the handheld is probably the only thing that would kind of interest me. But even at that point, it's a third party. It's probably going to be third party. And I'm like, I'd rather have a device that is crafted, that is made for that device versus, you just piecemealing out your hardware in order for someone else to make it. Cause I don't feel like the care would be in it just as much as if you did it, so I don't know. It's sad, but I also think we're at a certain point. We're at like this flexion point where a lot of people are just, I'm not going to say tired of consoles, but they're starting to see that it's easier to move over to a PC and still get great experiences at a lower price compared to what consoles are costing. Like, I don't know how much longer this tariff stuff's going to last for. But Series X is being $649 is crazy. PlayStation 5 still being digital consoles being $500 when they were $400, and disc drives being $600, where a Pro is $750. Even as much as I love the Nintendo Switch, $500 for the Mario Kart bundle, $450 for it out. I mean, these
and that's going up apparently. Like,
oh yeah,
you do not want to know what that costs up here. You do not want to know what it costs up here.
Oh, I can only imagine, bro. I can only imagine what it costs up there.
The Canadian tax.
The Canadian tax.
Oh my God. Dude, it is so bad. The Switch 2 after tax, 700 and change.
What?
Nah, bro.
The PS5 egregious. Pro. I looked at the PS5 Pro just out of curiosity just yesterday on Best Buy. Retail MSRP $959. $959 plus tax. That's not after tax. That's plus tax. So that mug is like a grand.
How much did your graphics card cost you up there?
I got it on sale. It was $100 off, so I got it at like $999.
Oh, so you got the heart of your PC for the price of a console
of a Pro. Yeah, and that was like I said, and
that's wild.
Dude, it's funny because I literally got, because I checked, I got from Canada Computers, I got the second to last 4080 Super. I don't know if all of Canada, but all of BC, and actually possibly all of Canada, because they had 6. And this was towards the end of the year, at the end of, what was it? When the 50 series came out, the end of 2024? End of 2024. And they only had 6, and I checked. And then like about 8 hours later, they were down to 3. And then 3 hours after that, they were down to 1, or they were down to 2. So I got the second to last one.
Yeah, so you know. So
that's money I understand.
Yeah, just to answer that, guess what? Best money ever spent. I didn't want to spend when my graphics card was about to. Well, it actually didn't go out. I actually upgraded. I sold my what did I have before this? 3070 Ti, and I sold it for like 8. I think I sold it for 8 at the time, and that 800 went towards this 4090. Now I was only looking to get like a 4080, and I was like, oh, I'll spend like $1,000. I was thinking like, oh, cool, I'll pay $200. And then I saw this 4090. I was like, whoo, that's $400 off. And then I made the jump, and it was the best thing I ever did. But we're just at a point now where I just feel like there's no reason to own an Xbox. Like, they can say all of these things about the renewed focus and wanting to put the console and bring gamers back to the console, and I'm sitting there like, so are we supposed to like ignore the last 4 years of Microsoft basically telling people you don't need it? Like, they're gonna say, oh, that was the old regime. Like, what did she come out? What did Sharma say? She said, I have to do some research and figure out why the old regime failed. I was like, wait a minute, the old regime failed because Microsoft told them what they couldn't do anymore. Like, yes, they made missteps along the way, and we're not going to rehash all that because they definitely have their faults. But the underlying problem still exists at Microsoft, where they don't want to pay for the R&D anymore to make these consoles. They want to be a service. They want to put their games everywhere. They don't see a benefit in that anymore. So you bringing a console out, sure, it's going to be a lot of people that haven't converted over that will love to like have another console. And guess what? You're going to put a false sense of security around those people because they're going to feel like, oh, look, Microsoft does care. They're still bringing a console out. But guess what? This console was already being produced. Like, they ain't just wake up. Like, Some people are just going to think and say, oh, they're still making consoles. Like, dude, if Phil Spencer didn't walk out the door and Sarah Bond didn't follow him and they were still at Xbox, this console was still coming. Nothing changed. It's still coming. So the question is, just like we talk about these live service games, SloMo and Ramon, what's the next 6 months going to look like? What's the next year? What is 2 years from now Xbox going to look like? Are they still going to have this same renewed focus around this console, or are they slowly but surely moving away and basically saying, we're basically going to keep you on the carrot stick as long as we can until we get to a point where we're good enough to just depart completely from the console? Because don't get it wrong, then don't get it twisted. I feel, in my opinion, that's what Sharma's there to do. That's what she's there for. And because I don't see, like, people can say, well, they can change. And I think me and Attic we're going back and forth with this with Kid's Move. We were talking on the phone. And I kept telling them, I was like, Attic, shout out to him and Iron Lords. He said, I feel like they can change. And I was like, change what? I was like, yes, anything could change with time. Could they change the misfortunes of everything they said? Absolutely. They can with time. Is Microsoft going to give them the time to do it? Is Microsoft going to wait 4 years for them to fix? Because we all know the old adage, you can tear something down in 2 days, but it takes 2 years to build it back up. So they destroyed the Xbox name over the course of the last 5 years. Do we magically think it's going to turn around in the next 6 months, year, 2 years?
You just led me to a question, Forte.
Go ahead.
All of the fans that they lost that are now invested in either PC or PlayStation.
I got a kid issue. Y'all
go ahead.
Keep talking. I'll be right back.
We got it. Go ahead.
Okay. Like, are those people gonna come back? Because we already see their install base, what it is. I mean, console sales have been in free fall for years now. And you got people who have left and they have built their libraries on PC or PlayStation or both.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how those people, I have reservations that those people are going to come back. So they're going to be trying to maintain the diehards who for some reason are still there, and then trying to get people back. Like, it's just they've been eroding player base for so long. I just don't see. And then this next platform is going to be more expensive. It's going to be way more expensive. And the thing is we've said, like, it's been said time and time again ad nauseum that PC gamers and console gamers aren't the same thing. And then you have your hybrid players like us who play on console and PC, and those people, like, if somehow Steam Machine, if Valve can get it together, and the Steam Machine, even though it'll be more expensive for inferior power, console gamers who are about to give up on Xbox, if they are diehard not wanting to get a PlayStation for whatever reason, that Steam Machine being in the living room to be hooked up like a console,
that's huge.
It has better brand recognition than Xbox at this point. And even, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know what Xbox is planning to do, but they have lost so much market share and goodwill. Microsoft's wallet is the only reason why they've been around as long as they have, dude. I just don't see how they're supposed to make this comeback. And I don't even think that's really overtly the plan. I just think that they're doing this to transition everybody over. Shamus Blackley said, like, palliative care. Like,
basically. I agree with that. I just think it's not doom or gloom. I just think you have to listen to what they're telling you and what they're not telling you. It's like, They wouldn't even listen. They wouldn't even tell you the plans in 2021 when they were putting games in other platforms. They didn't. They were so afraid to tell people that we're putting all our games on other platforms that they had to like hold it and say, "Oh, we're only doing these games. We're not talking about we're only talking about these 4 games." And then 2 years later or 3 years later, when Forza Horizon 5 goes to PlayStation, he does an interview and he says, what makes you put, he said, what makes you want to put Forza Horizon 5 on the PlayStation? And he said, why would I keep a good game from as many people as possible? And I was like, yo, this is, I was like, yo, I said the talking points are out. This is what we're doing now. So,
Yep.
So it's mostly just if you listen to what they tell you and what they don't tell you, you can have a clear picture of where this is going. I don't want Xbox to disappear. I love Xbox. I was at the launch party in New York when when Surge was a thing, the fake Mountain Dew. When they were giving Surge out and Major Nelson was there, and it was a great time. Got a chance to play some Xbox and everything it was so fun. We was up so late I remember my brother being up so late that night. But that's the thing that I kind of hold on to. I still hold on to the friends that I built on that platform, because at a certain point, yes, the games were awesome, but the memories of the people you hung out with were the things that were lasting. And honestly, if you sit back and think about it, what has Xbox really done over the last 20 years to make you feel like, in a game sense, make you feel like you have to be on Xbox? Because even for myself, all I remember when everybody was like, why are you still on Xbox? And I just told people, my friends. Like, the reason I played Destiny on Xbox and didn't play on PlayStation is because I was playing with Luca and I was playing with Taz, and that was my fire team, and I was playing with them, and that's where all of my friends played at. I played on Xbox, so guess what? I'm gonna play on Xbox because of my friends. That's the main reason that I still played on Microsoft didn't make games, or Xbox didn't make games that really truly compelled me for like almost a decade on that system. I was playing Destiny, a third-party game. I played Battlefield over there. Yeah, I had a few games in between, like Sunset Overdrive that I played. But Xbox One was like a glorified third-party system for me at that point. And when you sit back and you think about it, the thing that really held me on the console was the people that I engaged with. And guess what? That's not going to change just because I go to PC. Because guess what? A lot of them are doing it too, because they're kind of tired of the situation. Actually, some of them don't even play, they don't even play on console anymore. So I think that's just, for me, how I feel about the whole thing. I just don't know how they reverse this. And the thing is, I don't think they really are going to reverse anything. I just think this is another talking point that everybody needs to listen to, and then you'll see exactly what it's going to be in the next couple of years, because what you hear now is not what it's going to be in 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let me say my piece on it, and then we can move on to this final topic. I'm gonna give a best case and worst case scenario for the direction of Xbox with Asha. Best case scenario is that she actually creates value for the Xbox console. Like, forget the whole ecosystem, the quote unquote platform. The PC app, the mobile app, xCloud, Game Pass.
Yeah.
Well, no, the console. Because real quick, the reason their biggest issue, the anchor around their neck, is the hardware.
Yeah.
For years, double-digit negative percentages year over year. And it's not getting better. And it has been like this ever since they announced just 4 games.
Yeah, just 4 games.
When they said just 4 games, people said just not for me.
Just not
And
for
they
me.
and you know, they never were like, oh, hey, we're up double digits, unless it was like, you know, Black Friday, you know, that season, you know, time of year. But they weren't down like 30, 40%, 25%, stuff like that until that happened. And people can try to make up all the excuses that they want, but the fact of the matter is the best kind of value that comes for a console is exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else. Now, she already has come out and said that they're not coming off of that. Like, they put these games on PlayStation. It's going to happen. But what I think that they could do, is they could make everything timed exclusive. So you look at this year, and you look at how Forza Horizon 6 is coming, and that is launching on Xbox and PC. And then later this year comes the PlayStation 5. Whereas, you know, like Gears, what is the name of the Gears game? E-Day. Gears E-Day.
Yeah.
Halo Campaign Evolved, Fable. All those other games are day and date on PS5. She could decide to create value by making sure that at least there's a console timed exclusivity for Xbox. So if you're really interested in those games, you know where to get them first. I don't think that's enough, but that's something that they could try. When it comes to Project Helix, I've seen people say, oh, well, look, you know, hey, look, SloMo, this is proof that they are making the hardware. It's not someone else. And I'm just like, how is this proof? This is an assumption. They told you, they marketed Asus's Xbox ROG Ally as their handheld. When Phil Spencer wanted to make a handheld that was going to be manufactured by them, their handheld, and Satya said no.
Yep.
And so they had, in order to provide a handheld experience, go through a third-party manufacturer to work with them and to produce it. Because why? Because hardware doesn't sell for them.
Nope.
Now, when you have Asha talking about, you know, what I need to figure out what's going to work here, even though a lot of us believe that's just lip service. She's got her marching orders the same way Phil and Sarah had their marching orders.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
let's take it for face value. Let's take it for face. Let's say she really has the autonomy to make these kind of decisions. She's going to look at the business. And she's going to see that content and services is generally always up. She's going to see that software is generally always up. She's going to see that all the other aspects of gaming is generally always up. But what is always down and weighing us down? Hardware. So sure, she could try to do some things to mitigate that, even though she does not have the ability to say no more games going to PC or PlayStation. She has zero autonomy to make that happen, even though she's the CEO of Microsoft Gaming. What more can she do? And whatever she does, is it enough to turn this around? Especially in a year where we're going to get GTA 6, where all the live service games that the people, like literally half of the console gaming community is still on Xbox One and PS4. Those players who are still on there are playing 2K, Fortnite, Madden, Call of Duty, all the games, the annual release games and live service games that continue to get updates for those all that's ending this year. GTA 6 is the vanguard for that. And all these people are going to go come to current gen. Are some of them going to go try to grab themselves an Xbox Series S because it's cheap? Absolutely. Because these are the kind of people that don't care about performance. They just want to play it.
They just want to play.
But guess what they're probably going to more likely go get? A PlayStation. Because that has the mind share. And that has the more exclusive. Yes, you have Fortnite just like them. Yes, you have all the same games, Roblox just like them. But they also got your games. And then they also got their games, which you don't have. And so until you find a value option and not just features, right? Because no one cares about features until you actually have the console. Like no one gives a crap about what's the whole suspended state thing that they everyone was up in arms about. Oh,
Quick resume.
Who cares about quick resume? The only people who find the value in it are the people who already owned an Xbox. Can't get people in with features that they don't know about nor care. It's about games. It's about the point of gaming. And so unless you have a must-have game that can only be played on your hardware does not sell. And no, the industry is not moving away from that. That has been the running theory based upon what the losers keep saying, and that doesn't, and that's not true. So when it comes down to it, what is Asha going to do? Does she want to end up like Phil? Or does she want to be successful? Because and I'm not saying you're not going to get your Project Helix. You just might not get your Project Helix from them. You might get it from someone else. You might get it from Samsung.
That's
Asus.
Sam's Club. Samsung. Lenovo.
But not manufactured by them, so they don't have to worry about that cost. They could tell their investors, yeah, gaming is awesome. We are killing it in Microsoft gaming right now. We're getting all these gains, and they ain't got to worry about hardware no more.
Wasn't Asus disappointed in performance of the the ROG?
They initially said it was doing well, but those sales cooled significantly. I think you could say, hey, it has something to do with prices going up and whatnot, or you could just say what I always assumed was going to be the case, which was it's $1,000. You have a $600 and $1,000 PC handheld in a nascent market where PC handhelds don't sell in great quantities anyway. The most successful PC handheld is a Steam Deck that has sold like 4 million since they have come out. What was that? 2022. So it's been like 4, maybe 5 years of the Steam Deck being out. And it's still sold less than 5 million. Like it's not exactly the biggest market that's out there. But I just
Preach, brother man, SloMo.
We will see next week. We will see what they got, and of course here at DPS we will discuss it in great detail. You ready to get to this last topic, yo?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. So we have got, this is a follow-up on what we were discussing last week about the rumors from Jason Schreier that PlayStation is moving away from putting their games on PC, single-player games to be exact. And we got a little bit more detail once Jason Schreier actually came out with the report on that. And so Jason has reported that Sony no longer plans to release its big PlayStation 5 games on PC. And when I say big, we mean it's explicitly the single player games. Those are no longer going to be released on PC. Jason explicitly spoke about Ghost of Yotai and Seros being developed by Housemarque, as will remain exclusive to PlayStation 5. This shift in strategy maybe, Jason says, maybe due to recent PlayStation games not selling well on PC and concerns that releasing games on PC risk damaging the console's brand and hurting sales of the PlayStation 5. Additionally, Schrader sources have cautioned that things could change in the future, and maybe this is why when Jason spoke to try to get an official comment from Sony, they declined. Because maybe this stuff is still fluid. Maybe they are going to go even further. Maybe not even the smaller single player games will go there. Maybe they may go back and change their mind. Who knows? But we're going to discuss where things seem to be at the current moment and where we see them. And so, Forte.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about potentially not getting Wolverine on PC?
So, remember when we talked last week during the half-baked version of this conversation, because we didn't know anything yet? There is a scenario, and you mentioned it. You said you think that the launcher for PlayStation is done. You said, I don't think that thing's happening. I kind of think it might still be happening, and the reason they're saying this is because I think that launcher is still going to happen. Because there's no reason for them to, they can pull back and say that we're not releasing games on PC, but then in the same breath say, well, we're not going to comment on anything because, our mind, anything can happen. We can change our mind on anything. And you know what would change their mind is if a launcher is available and they're not sharing that revenue with anybody else but themselves. Because if that launcher is a thing, because think of it, we talked that we know it was a rumor. We knew it was something that was being developed in the background. I don't think they would turn that off, because guess what? If they do have a launcher on PC, they don't share that revenue with anybody. It doesn't hurt them to put the game on PC and to put the game on their console if they're only putting it in their own launcher. The reason they're not saying anything about it is because the launcher isn't a thing yet until they say it is. So they want to reinforce. Go ahead. But I have another reason, but go ahead.
Name a launcher by a publisher that's been successful on PC.
Epic. As much as it has been successful, mostly due to Fortnite. It's been successful because of the one game that's on it.
But Sony doesn't have a Fortnite.
But Sony has exclusive games, and if you can't play those games but anywhere but their but see, this is the thing. So I don't feel like Fortnite. Can you play Fortnite on any other launcher other than the Epic launcher?
You can now play it on the Xbox app.
Well, now you can play it through the Xbox app.
Yeah.
So, but for the lift of that game since 2017, you can either play it on console or through the Epic launcher. And that is one of the biggest games in the world.
That's the only reason why the Epic Game Store is still a thing right now.
But that is also why PlayStation can actually do that too.
No, they don't. But Forte, they don't have a Fortnite.
They don't. No.
Draw the players in.
Slow-mo.
Helldivers 2 is great, but it's not
Slow-mo.
Fortnite.
Slow-mo. Is it gonna hurt them if you don't buy their games on PC and you just continue to buy them on PlayStation?
No, not at all.
Doesn't hurt them at all. So if they put the game on a launcher on PC in order for you to play it, if you want to play the better version of the game, supposedly, it ain't even supposedly, it'll be the better version of the game because it's on PC. If you want to play the exquisite version of the game, here it is on our PlayStation app. You can download it. You can play the game. You can buy the games over there. All the games that are in PC that you own on your PlayStation will get dual partnership, and you can play dual city. You can play them on the PC under the app. A lot of things can happen with that. And then guess what? The people that want to do that will partake in it. But if you don't, guess what? We got a PlayStation for you to play on. It doesn't hurt them one bit. It's like, yes, the only thing that hurts them is the development and the R&D to put the game on another platform, to put it on PC, which they already been doing for the longest. So, but this is the other reason why I think this is all asinine. The fact that you're putting the games out so far out, especially single player games, the fact that you're talking about single player games, bro, single player games got a life expectancy on them. Like, people are excited for them when they first come out during the calendar year that they're out. And usually after 6 months, if it's like not a blockbuster game like Cleric's Cure or Elden Ring or something like that, it kind of fades by the side within 3 to 4 months, and then people are kind of over it. The reason games like Grand Theft Auto can go a whole year before it hits PC, sometimes 2 years, is because it's Grand Theft Auto and it has a following of people that's willing to wait and say, I'm not.
You are Forte, you are naming games that are among the most influential games in the industry. You cannot discount the fact that the reason why those games are so big is the reason why the people who make those games make the moves that they make.
But they also can't assume that, like, saying that the games didn't sell like they expect. I'm like, huh? Bro, you're releasing single player games a year and a half to 2 years after they came out. Everybody that wanted to play, remember we always say, if you want to play the game, you're going to buy a PlayStation. And guess what happens if they don't buy a PlayStation? The reason they didn't buy a PlayStation is because they didn't intrigue them enough to buy it. And by the time it came to PC, some people bought it because they was like, oh, I get to finally play it on PC. I'm glad I didn't buy a PlayStation. But then there's a lot of people that just said, oh, I was interested in playing it when it came out, but I'm just over it now. And they don't even think about purchasing it because it's like they probably done already watched the stream or got spoiled on the game by then. There's so many different ways that can go. It's like games as a service is always a good thing to actually do day and day, like they're going to continue to do, like they did with Helldivers. They're going to do it with all the rest of their games that come out when it comes to that. But when it comes to a single player game, using that as the barometer of saying that people aren't purchasing the game in a certain window is kind of asinine to me, because I just don't think that it's like 1-to-1. Yo, K-Line, my brother's standing right here. I'm like, what do you think about this, sir? What do you think about Sony's strategy of saying they're not bringing games to PC anymore? They're basically saying we're going back to only on PlayStation.
I think they're trying to boost sales. I think you can't deny the God of War sold extremely well on Steam. And every other game, Ratchet & Clank, I played it on PC more than I played it on the console, but I do agree with you. I do think if they wait too long, you've already watched the gameplays, you watched the reviews, and it's like, I'm over it. I'm past it. So I'm just going to literally just not buy it, because it's to release it day and date and you have a better version, higher frame rates, higher resolution. I think it's very worth it. And I think what Nada Kale said is, big fact.
Oh my God. Go ahead, SloMo. Your turn.
Okay. That PC app is dead.
Well, if it's dead, it's dead, but it still doesn't change. It still doesn't change the fact that
there was a job. Hold on, you said this. You go ahead and speak. Then I started speaking.
I'm done.
Thank you.
I'm done. So, I'm sorry. I'm done. I'm sorry. I apologize.
The PC app is dead. They started talking they never even announced it officially. It was, they had job announcements about it like 3-4 years ago. There's been nothing in regards to that since. The overlay that they have, the PlayStation overlay on PC, where you can get your trophies and you can do matchmaking for the games that have multiplayer. That could have very well been what that whole thing was about. We've seen nothing that indicates that they're going to go in that direction. And when you can't get this kind of sales that you want off of Steam, when you can't get those kind of sales in Steam, you're definitely not getting it on your own launcher. So I think that their own storefront, I think that's dead. I do absolutely 1000% believe it was in the cards at some point. I think that's dead. The idea that So if you recall, like way back in like maybe 2019, 2020, it was either Sean Layden. Actually, I think Ramon, you said it was crap. I can't remember who you said it was that said it, but they had talked about how many PC gamers own the PlayStation. And it was somewhere in the range of like 20 to like a third, 20% to like a third of PC gamers own the PlayStation 4 in that time frame, because that was before the PS5 came out. Now, if you had that many people owning a PlayStation, and in the PC community's huge, like out of active PC gamers, you're looking at like roughly like 200 million active PC gamers, but you can't get more than 3 million for any of these individual games to be sold to people. To them, I can see that being a disappointment. And yeah, I agree to the fact that like if you release the game at launch, like it launches like the way say Xbox games launch on Xbox and PC at the same time, that if they release their games at PS5 and PC at the same time, it would sell more than it does being staggered. But I don't think for them, they believe the juice is worth the squeeze for that. Like, frankly, I don't think PC gamers really give a damn about PlayStation games.
Oh, I that's the other thing I agree with. I agree with that 100%. But
they don't care about those. They don't care about those games the way console gamers care about those games. Because we all acknowledge like the PC gaming community is different. They got different tastes, right? League of Legends wouldn't do jack on a console. Valorant is massive on PC, but when it launched on console, it was all right. It did okay, but it's not. It's a different community with different gamers that have different tastes, and like the reverence that PlayStation gamers have for PlayStation games, PC gamers don't have that. They don't care. All right, you think God of War is, hot stuff. Okay, I tried it. It was all right. That's the kind of reaction that they get in when your most successful game on PC is Helldivers 2, which we can all acknowledge Sony had no idea that was going to be that successful. No idea it was going to do that well. They have no clue what they're doing in live service. But that's more successful than all the Spider-Man games. Add all the sales for all the Spider-Man games on PC, add them all together. They do not equal how much Helldivers 2 is sold on PC. And so this is why it doesn't surprise me that for the live service / multiplayer lane, it's business as usual, because they've seen massive success there and they want to try to continue that, even though, again, they don't know what they're doing. But on the single player front, those games are really expensive. And even though porting isn't as expensive as, say, developing the game, completely from beginning to end, it's also not free. It's just for them, I think current leadership, not being the leadership that made those decisions to go to PC, have decided, nah. And I think it also has a lot to do with cost. I think Matt Piscatella from Circana on Blue Sky mentioned this, that it's a cost-cutting measure. If you feel like the return on investment isn't high enough to justify the work that's going to have to be put in, then you just say, nah, we ain't doing that no more. And also it's going to bolster your brand on PlayStation, because if you do have people that just like, for example, Wolverine, because I know people, I've been talking to people for the past week and a half about this. When it came to Wolverine, way previously, when they showed the gameplay for Wolverine, they was like, oh yeah, that looks dope, but I'm gonna wait for PC.
Yep, I saw a lot of that.
Right. Now, we've been having these discussions, and they're like, well, I wanted to wait for PC, but if I'm going to play the game, I'm probably going to have to go just either get a PlayStation or already have a PlayStation, I'll play it there. And why is that important to Sony? Well, if you're in their ecosystem, if you're on their platform, the more you're on that platform, the more likely you're to buy more games there. Now, sure, Herman Holst had lost his mind when he said that he thought their idea of putting games on PC was going to be to get PC gamers to buy PlayStations. That's crazy because they don't understand PC gamers. PC gamers care about freedom, care about not being hindered, and all that stuff is like the opposite of what you're going to get on the console. So that was ridiculous. Ridiculous mindset. They don't understand PC gamers. But if you are interested in those games, there is only one place to play them. And if you're looking at how you had your statistics of how many PC gamers on the PS4 back when you were completely exclusive to the PlayStation, and you look at how many on the PS5 now, and it's not the same. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying the if, right? If it's not the same, it doesn't surprise me at all that they make this decision to go, you know what? For these games, we keep this exclusive to us. We want them for the big live service stuff because we can take as many bodies as we can. But for the single player games, we want this to be a part of our identity. This is where we're kind of like Nintendo, where Nintendo don't let anything go outside their ecosystem. We're going to start keeping this here for now. And so that's my thought on it. Ramon, what do you think about all this?
Much of what has already been said. At first I was thinking maybe, the launcher thing, but then after talking to you about it, it makes sense that launcher is probably dead. Day one launches on PC may or may not have boosted sales, but in my personal opinion, the amount of sales that it could potentially have boosted would not have equaled the damage that it possibly could have done to their console business. And what I mean by that is, I'll use myself as an example. I don't wait for their first party games. But I remember I bought Death Stranding 2 at launch. And then a couple months later, because I still haven't played it yet, so I was stupid for that. Every once in a while, I catch an L. It's not often, but it happens.
Well,
and then
but Death Stranding 2 is massively overrated, so I understand.
Okay, well, anyway.
I had to throw that out there for all the Kojima stands. Go ahead.
Well, I'm not even a Kojima stan. That's the funny thing. Like, I've never played. I've played.
No, don't worry. I'm gonna get a nice message from a certain few people after this. I just had to just take a shot. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Well, the reason I mentioned Death Stranding 2 is because they published it, but it's not a first party, I guess, or maybe they consider it. I don't know. But anyway, I was ticked off when I saw that it was the rumblings of it, the ESRB, that for PC and everything, and now it's on PC, and I was like, man, I could have waited. And if they went, and we had this discussion, if they had put their first party games day one on PC, I would not have a reason to own another PlayStation. I still have my PS5 because I got games on it that I still can't play on PC. But PS6 would have been a wrap. I wouldn't buy one because I wouldn't have a need for it.
Exactly. Yeah, look, I'm in the same camp. If they would have put everything on PC, I'd have been bet. I'd sell the PS5. I don't need it. I need it, or give it to my son who apparently might want to do something with it. But I wouldn't need it no more. But the thing is, though, is this? I've always kind of looked at like, I don't think this is as big a deal as people are making it. Honestly, like, so the big PlayStation single player games. Think about how small of an area or a percentage of games that we're talking about. We're not talking about their multiplayer live service games. We're not talking about their smaller PlayStation first party games that may go, like a Son of Sparta. I don't know, like that they haven't announced that to go to PC, but maybe that one goes, right. They're not talking about the second party games like Kena 2 or Death Stranding. They're not talking about any of those games. Those Kena 2 is PC day one. Stellar Blade came out on PC, and Shift Up said the next one would be day one. The next game they make will be day one on PC. We're not even talking about like that's. We're just talking about, as they said, they're one or two single player games a year that won't go to PC. When you got a PC community that don't really care for the games in the first place, this is more of a nothing burger more than anything, in my opinion.
Yeah, the juice doesn't seem like it's worth the squeeze. I mean, David Faulkner was saying that, it was profitable, but was it profitable enough to justify it? You know what I mean? And that's the whole thing. It's just like, okay, yeah, we made money, but we didn't make enough money for it to be worth the effort, not to mention whatever gamers that we may lose because they're like, well, I have a PlayStation, but if it's going to come out in a year and a half, I can wait for that. Or just like what you were saying about Wolverine, people, oh yeah, I'll wait for PC. So I'm sure, and I think that's part of the reason why they wanted everybody to sign up for a PSN account, a free
Which
PSN
backfired,
account,
right?
free,
The PC community did a boycott on them, and so like, look, you can't even go to your investors and use the PC community numbers to bolster your PSN numbers. You can't even do that because
well,
they don't want to sign up.
Well, not only that, I don't know how this works, but I have a suspicion that also they wanted everybody to sign up because then they can see the metrics of who's double dipping. Oh, okay, so Ramon Terrell has, Sin1001 has a PSN account on a PlayStation 5, but I see they also are signed up on PC as well. Oh, and they have the game on both platforms. He double dips. So they can
Or
see
even
how many
deeper,
people.
they can know what other games you play when you're not playing their game. Because if you look, I think everyone has acknowledged this who has a PC. You go play a game on Steam or through Epic Game Store, and then you go off and do something else, play something else. Go ahead and look at your task manager. Guess what's still running in the background? Those launchers.
Yeah.
All of them do it. And all of them are just taking data. Oh,
yeah.
So this guy likes Fortnite. Oh, this guy likes Rocket League. This guy likes hentai games, apparently. Like, and they can take this data and determine what they green light next. And so without that data, I mean, maybe it helped them determine which single player games to actually put on the PC platform and which ones to hold back because it's just not worth it because you're not going to make as much money off of it. Like we do have to acknowledge though, like the smaller game, like Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is technically a smaller PlayStation first party game, and that game became profitable when they launched it on PC. It wasn't profitable before that. So
I'm still
I
mad
can see
at the
them
PlayStation
looking at
community
that.
for that one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like they see that and go, okay, this would be the kind of game that would do well over there. Miles Morales made a lot of money and sold pretty well on PC. And if you look at the margins based off of the hack of Insomniac, and you look at the margins of all their games, Miles Morales was the most profitable for them versus, them spending $300 million on Spider-Man 2 and trying to make up all that money. They only spent, even though of course, it's built off of the work they'd already done, but like I think it was like 65 to 80 million they spent on Miles Morales. Like those kind of experiences, the smaller games, yeah, put those over there. But the bigger ones, if they feel like it's hurting PlayStation console sales, they're just gonna hold back on it.
Man, I've never approved of yet felt it sucked a decision like this. Like on the one hand, like for PlayStation gamers, I think it's a good thing because, you know, it ensures that PlayStation will remain, you know, they will remain laser focused on the PlayStation experience and squeezing out every last bit of everything they can get out of PlayStation. And I mean, shout out to Jay Barry. I agree with him when he says all of these moves that they said will benefit PlayStation because it's more revenue, blah, 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 was a lie because none of these moves benefit PlayStation gamers. Games on PC don't benefit PlayStation gamers. None of this stuff benefits PlayStation gamers. And as you know, even though it's now my secondary platform, if I'm going to own a console, I want to be first class with that platform. So, you know, the fact that I own a PlayStation, yeah, like my wallet will be happy that, you know, I'm not double dipping anymore. But, you know, I think that even though it sucks for those of us who like these games on PC to play in as the best they can be, as far as PlayStation as a platform, I think it's probably a very good thing.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say on this before we get up out of here? It's getting late, and I unfortunately have a sick kid I have to deal with. We've been playing hot potato with a stomach virus in the household.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Next kid up to throw up.
Oh, man.
So that's why I had to step away to kind of like help clean up a little bit.
Bro?
But there's a lot more cleanup that needs to happen on aisle 10. So
Oh, man.
yeah,
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, sorry. I hope they feel better soon.
Yeah, you know, it'll be the last kid, the last Mohican left to get it next, probably tomorrow. But no, anything else you guys want to say on this before we get into outros?
No, that's it, man.
Play your games, enjoy your games. If you're blessed enough to have both platforms, play your games and stop arguing.
Hey, you already know people ain't gonna stop doing that.
Hey,
Anyway.
dang,
Yeah, I know. I just wasted 15 seconds, but you know.
Right. But Ramon, thanks for coming through once again. Let everyone know where they can find you, bro.
Well, as always, thanks for having me. Love getting to hang out with you guys. And if you want to find me I'm on primarily just Blue Sky. So just look me up, Ramon Terrell, on Blue Sky. And yeah, that's really about it. If you like reading epic fantasy, fantasy humor, urban fantasy, look me up by same name and you'll find my stuff. And otherwise, enjoy your games. Crimson Desert is in a couple weeks. Can't wait. And have a good night.
Cool, man. Always glad to have you, sir. Forte.
Yeah, great
Forte
show.
and K Live.
Oh, great show as always. Ramon, always happy to have you here, bro. Appreciate you always stopping through. DPS next week gonna be great. Outside of that, man, like Ramon said, play your games and enjoy the consoles that you have because one of them won't be around for the next decade.
Man, don't say that, dude.
It won't be.
See, I'm gonna be called a pony for you saying that now. That's how it goes.
Well, listen, I sold my Xbox, so I'm already out.
Right.
We're powering our dreams differently.
Yeah, exactly. Our dreams have been powered by fusion energy called 4070s and 4090s.
Oh,
So
man.
that's where we at right now. But no, great show as always. We see you guys next week. Have a great week and enjoy the weather because it's starting to actually feel like it's turning right now.
Yeah, finally. For myself, you know, look, hey, Forte, we gotta do Battlefield. Let's stream some Battlefield at some point.
Okay.
and I'm gonna go ahead and buy Resident Evil, man. Yeah, out here trying to get me to play this game. I guess I'll play it. I guess I don't know. If I do that, I'll stream it. So look out for those over the next week before the next podcast. Hopefully, this weekend might be a bit busy for me. We'll see how it goes, but if I can, I will. And if I can get Forte to actually let me know when he's playing Battlefield, we'll try to do that too.
Yeah, I'll make it happen, bro. We good.
Cool. All right, y'all enjoy your night. The rest of your night. Enjoy your weekend and play some games for once, people. And we're out. Peace.
Peace.
Later on.
Later, Gators.